Welcome, welcome. Hey, Katrina. How you doing? We are at the secret pond today. What's up, Wayne Greach? How you doing, brother? We're over here. This is a spot I fish a few times a year. There's tiger muskie back here. I've never managed to get one out of here, but there are tiger muskie. So we brought a couple of different things to try today. How's everybody doing today? Man, it's hot out here. It's like a quarter-mile hike. You gotta cross a river and hike through the trees and the woods and a bunch of thistle. It's an absolute pain in the butt to get back here. Gumar, welcome, welcome. Yep, tiger muskie. That's what we're after here today. I've never caught one out of here, but they're back here. It's a pretty small pond. They've been stocking this place for 12 or 15 years. So the potential tiger muskie that are in here are, 40, 50 inches, if we can manage to get one. They are absolute behemoths, and my net is not nearly big enough, but I have like tons of gear that I had to carry across the river and through frickin' sticks and brush and forest, and so we're gonna make do with what we have. If I have to, I will dive in there and I will wrestle that bastard to the shore. What's up, Mary Turner? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. I'm hot. I'll tell you what, man. It's only about a quarter of a mile from the parking spot to get in here, but you gotta climb up the side of a mountain and through the bushes, and it's murderous. Audio's wacky. Thanks for letting me know. Any better? I like fishing. Yeah, I remember you. How you doing today? I like fishing. Maya, I have no idea what's going on with Lana Del Rey, and I don't even know who Ethel Kane is. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Josie, welcome, welcome. All right, I just got the Starlink set up. We're using some of my frozen creek chub that I got earlier this year when I was fishing for sturgeon. We got a couple of these. So we're gonna see if the tiger muskie back here are interested in a little creek chub. I'll be so stoked if we can manage to pull one out of here. Appreciate those thumbs up, guys. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good week, good day. Oh. Now, frozen cut bait is not the preferred kind of cut bait, but we're gonna make do with what we have. This was kind of an impromptu fishing session here. I had a text from Flash, who's in here. He's local to me. He's like, I'm going back trying to get one of them tiger muskies today. I was like, all right, I'll tag along with you. So he might show up. We'll have to see. He's never been back here though, and the first couple of times that I came back here, holy crap, it took so long to get back here. Just like thick, dense forest and brush, and it's a nightmare. If you don't know the path back here, you might never make it back here. So we'll see if he actually shows up. I was gonna wait for him, but I sat around at my truck for about 10 minutes and I'm like, all right, screw this. He's late. He can find his way back here. Hi, Trash Panda. What's up, buddy? You're at a pond. Yeah, so this is Fish, Wildlife, and Park here in central Montana calls this their secret pond. Almost nobody ever fishes this place because it's such a pain in the butt to get to. A lot of people don't even know it exists. You gotta wade across a river and fight your way through a small forest to get in here. So it's kind of one of these local only ponds. If you're not from around here, you probably would never find it. But yeah, so we're at the pond today. It's a fairly small pond, but they've been stocking this place with tiger muskie for over a decade. And in that amount of time, they're at about, or could potentially be about, their max size. So we might be able to pull, if we can get one on the line today. They're potential 40 to 50 inch tiger muskie back here. And I've come back here dozens of times, and I've had one on the line once, but didn't manage to get it in. But there's all sorts of other stuff back here: black crappie, largemouth bass, pumpkinseed, bluegill, suckers. In fact, when I was coming in here, I think the carp are starting to spawn. There was a whole pile of them. I got a quick video of rolling around and doing their thing. And I just sat there quietly recording, and they rolled almost all the way over to the shore, and one of them spotted me, and it was just whoosh, like this big suction that like pulled them all under. But we are fishing here today with, oh, it looks like there's Flash. Flashes, I don't know if you guys can see in the background there. They made it. But yeah, so we're back here. We're going to see if we can get a tiger muskie. I'm going to get in the water here. There's a couple of deeper holes. It's a fairly shallow pond, but there's a couple of sections in here that go down to about 12, 14 foot. What's that? You could, yeah. There's a deeper hole right here. There's a deeper hole between these two islands. All right. Yeah, there's carp spawning all over the place. I don't know if you've seen them boiling when you were walking in. Oh, yeah? All right, let's get a pull in the water here. Let's see if we can get a muskie on the line here. But I'm set up with, if you guys have seen my channel before, I fish with this all the time. This is a high-low rig. And again, I'm doing this because we are allowed 2 poles, 2 hooks per pole. We have cut bait on here, frozen, which isn't ideal, but that's what we're fishing with here today. And I'm gonna try and lob this out here. There we go. And I am on way undersized gear for this. So we'll see how that goes. I didn't want to bust out my heavier poles. I got so much gear to carry back here. But I've caught 20+ pound carp and catfish on these guys, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, let me catch up on the chat here. What are you using for bait? It is creek chub that I got earlier this year. Frozen, so not ideal, but dude, I've been to Canada many times. I had to walk 20 minutes on a path. You wouldn't know it was a path if outfitter didn't tell you it was a path. Yeah, that's kind of how it is getting back here. I'm surprised they made it back here. So jealous of you, how much you fish. I fish a lot. Fishy Things, what's up, buddy? How you doing today? Josie, don't forget to like and subscribe. Walk 423, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the sub there, buddy. Thomas Bowfishing, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the sub as well. How's everybody doing? Everybody ready to fish? We'll set this one up with cut bait. And I think this other line, we're gonna rig, and I'm gonna try a few crankbaits. And if we don't, I'm not gonna fish on the cranks and stuff for very long. If we don't get much of anything, I will probably switch over and see if we could pull maybe a black crappie out of here or a bass. We'll see. Target here today is tiger muskie. Valentino, welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Let me zoom in there a little bit. You guys see the poles all right? Yo, dude, catfishing. Dave James, there's welcome, by the way. There are bullhead in here, but that's the only kind of catfish. We're here for tiger muskie. That's what we're trying to get out of here today. Hello, all the way from Thursday. Hello, my time traveling friend. Okay, how you doing today, buddy? Mohammed Dinbo, welcome to the stream, Mohammed.
Hey, I got my first one.
Your first what? Oh, did you get a bass already? Yeah, nobody fishes back here. It is full. In fact, I guarantee you could pull bigger bass out of here than the pond over there. There's black crappie in here, there's bullhead. Heck yeah. Now there should be good sized crappie in here too. The Fish, Wildlife and Park survey was showing 11 to 13 inches. So really good sized ones. All right, let's see here. Bear with me a moment. I need to grab a leader and my crankbait. And again, we're back here today on the Starlink Mini because this spot, even though it's fairly close to town, has zero cell service, which is pretty typical around here. Oh, dang it. Why do I never have a used leader when I need one? I gotta open up a new leader every time I try to grab one. I don't know what I do with them all. There we go. We'll use one of the good leaders. One of my floral leaders here. All right. Forgot I had these. And I think we're gonna start with, oh, what do you guys think? Should we do I'll give you guys a choice. If you were a muskie today, what would you eat? A rip and wrap in fire craw. What are these? I forget who makes these. A rebel crawfish. Or my trusty Bend 100 and Pearl White. 1620, welcome to the stream. Yep, just getting set up. We got one pole in the water so far with cut bait on it, creek chub, and then we're gonna throw some lures on the other one here. I'm thinking I'm leaning towards the old trusty here, pearly white. That's what I think, Dave. Yeah. The first one. Okay, says the rattle trap. Dave says the Bandit 100 and Pearl White. We need a tiebreaker here. Which one, guys? White ones. That's 2 votes for white, either Pearl White or the lipless. All right, well that's 3 votes for white. We're gonna try that one first. We'll do the lipless crankbait next, and then if that doesn't work, we will hop over to the what's the other one? Our Rebel Craw. Oh man, it's toasty out here. The sun needs to go away. Yeah, I wasn't planning on streaming here today, but I figured, what the hell? It's been a few days since I fished. My musky lures look bigger than that. Yeah, Hammer K. I have lots of bigger musky lures, but we're throwing some small stuff here today. This is a hiking access pond, and I already have like 100 pounds of gear. I didn't feel like lugging out my 12, 13 inch baits out here. We'll see. Maybe we'll get lucky. It's been, I don't know, I haven't fished this pond since spring. So we'll see. It's fairly weedy. We have probably 5 to 7 foot of weed bed right here off the shore. The pond level is quite low. But again, it's late summer here, so it's fairly expected. But there are really big carp spawning all over the place. The shallow end of the pond here when I was coming was just loaded with them. We'll throw this for 10-15 minutes. If we get nothing, we'll switch over to the other lure. We'll be so stoked if we can pull a muskie out of here. I've been trying this pond for a few years now, and they're in here. I don't know why I haven't been able to get them to bite. A lot of people come back here and ice fish for them. They set up over this deeper hole that I'm fishing here. Now I'm just kind of fan casting here to see, just testing the water, searching. The cut bait pole is sitting right next to or in-ish the deeper hole there. I don't know where the hell the muskie hang out this time of year. I would assume probably in the deeper water because the water temperature, it's a little cooler than I expected, but still probably somewhere around 70. I don't know, hoping I have more hope for the cut bait than I do for the cranks here, but we gotta try a few different things. You guys see that? Muskie? There ain't nothing else that could have been. Did ya? Yeah, that was way too big to be a bass, and that definitely wasn't a carp. The only other thing in here that looks even remotely like that would be a muskie. Just a smaller one, though. Okay. Yeah, we just had something jump next to the shore down there. You guys find a path back here all right? Yep, exactly. Yep, that's it. Yep. Yeah, no, most people dig into the woods way too early and you'll get stuck back there for an hour. It's thick and nasty and full of thistles and I'll be over there. I know I'm not responding to chat here for a few. I'll come over there and chat with you guys in a moment. Sounds like Flash has caught 2 bass over there already. He's throwing a Fire Tiger Meps, number 3. I'm catching a bunch of weeds. Max, get better soon, rest up. It's the only live stream I watch regularly. Oh yeah, Neighborhood Hillbilly. Welcome to the chat, welcome back. Glad to hear you enjoy the stream. Appreciate you coming to hang out. Puka Buds. Yo, what fish you catching? We are after tiger muskie today. That is our goal back here. They're in here. I've never managed to pull one out, but that's what we're trying here today. Corcel Blanco, welcome to the stream. Josie says, Hillbilly, thanks. Rod's pretty awesome. Thank you, Josie. You're pretty awesome yourself. The other day I accidentally hacksawed about 1 millimeter into the foot of my Shimano reel. Ooh, Does anyone have any experience in this? I have never taken a hacksaw to my reel, no. I mean, does it operate all right still? You might be able to just take some epoxy, fill her in, and then once it's dried, sand it back down. I guess that depends on where in your reel you hacksaw it into. What I'd like to know is how the hell you managed to hacksaw into your reel. Bro, don't forget figure eight. It's a little hard to figure eight. I'll show you guys in a minute here. It's super shallow on the shore and it's full of weeds. So while I do hear you and understand you, a little hard to figure eight in this particular setting. Adventure Waits, welcome to the stream. Eric, welcome to the stream. Eric number 2, welcome to the stream. In what? The sand. What do you mean in the sand? VYC Sports gave a super chat there, $2. Appreciate that. He said, good luck. Thank you, my friend. Oh God, thought I had a bite there. It was the weeds. Looking at the chat, felt a nice tug. Redneck Amusement, how you doing, buddy? Thank you again, VYC. I really appreciate that. I had luck walking down to a local river, casting towards the bank, rainbow trout, East Tennessee. Very nice. What were you fishing with? What kind of bait? Worms or a lure? B. Lindsay. Are we after bass? There are largemouth bass in here, and in fact, Flash, one of the mods from the chat, is right across there with his buddy, and they've pulled in 2 largemouth so far. I'm not concerned about bass. I'm here to see if we can lure in a tiger muskie. Austin Parker, howdy. How about topwater? Yeah, once the sun goes down a little bit and I see a different fish on hot dogs, surprisingly. A lot of fish will eat hot dogs. Never caught a cell. They're just little guys, but I've never managed to catch one on a fishing pole. Maps number 2 spinner, Panther Martin. Nice. What color? Are you using just a gold or a silver? Or... El Dabo, what's up, buddy? It's going good, going good. We're just back here to fish for a few hours. This is our hidden pond, the Fish, Wildlife, and Park calls it. This is where they stock and breed tiger muskie, and then they catch them out of here and transport them into other water bodies. They do the same with black crappie. There's bass, there's all sorts of things in here. Man, this thick weed bed at the edge is killing me here. Connor, welcome to the stream. How you doing? We're trying to catch a tiger muskie. That's what we're doing. I would be so ecstatic if we could get one out of here. I've been trying for 3 years out of this pond to get one, and closest I've got was I had one on the line for about 2-3 cranks, and then it popped off. But they do catch them back here every once in a while. In fact, this pond flooded into the river that's right next to this about, oh God, what was it, 2015 or so? So almost 10 years ago. And some of the tiger muskies escaped into the river. And Fish, Wildlife, and Park apparently has a picture on their their lunchroom billboard of somebody who caught an almost 50-inch tiger muskie out of the Sun River right behind here last year. Which is absolutely insane. And I just managed to somehow, how did I do that? There we go. But tiger muskie, not only have I not caught one out of here, I've never managed to land one. There's a couple of places I fish for them. I had one next to the boat last year. Couldn't get it in the net. I had one on the line here last year, but it got off. So it's a bucket list fish for me. I've never managed to catch one. Catch pike all the time, but never the tiger muskie. All right, well, a couple more casts with this crank and then we're gonna switch to something else. Katrina, nope, I've never actually, I've had one on the line, I've never landed one. We had one right next to the boat last year, about a 30-incher. Just waiting for food and heading home. I should have ate before I got here, I'm starving. What are you getting for dinner, El Dabo? Bruce Keener, welcome to the stream. Midnight, nope, we haven't caught anything yet. We've just been fishing for about 20 minutes or so. You're rocking a spoon for them too? I got a whole box full of spoons. We could try some of them later too. What color Meps? I believe it was yellow. The Panther Martin was black. Oh, okay, Eric. Joe Ryan, it's starting to cool off here in Iowa. That's good. Yeah, it was pretty toasty here when I got here. The wind's picked up a little bit. It feels much, much nicer now. Caught a pike in Michigan, Upper Peninsula. Heck yeah. How big was it, Eric? Here in OZ, we use a lot of surface lures in summer, especially when weighty. Would they work on tiger muskie? Yeah, oh yeah, tiger muskie are a voracious predator. They're just like a pike. Topwater definitely will work on them, but topwater is one of those things that you got to throw at the right time of the day. It often works better when you have a little calmer waters, less wind, and later in the day or earlier in the morning. Basically the times when you're seeing fish biting at, bugs that are floating on the surface. When you start to see fish feeding on the surface, that's when it's time to throw top water. Never caught a muskie, but I don't fish for them. They say muskie's a fish of not 1,000 casts, 10,000 casts. Josie says it was 85 in Missouri, much better than it has been. That's not too bad. It's still on the warm side, but not too shabby. Glenn McIver, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Shawarmas. So it's a local restaurant. Is that Indian food or what kind of food is it? MHG Fishing. What up, bro? We're trying to catch a tiger muskie. We got one line in the water with some cut bait currently. And we're tossing a Bandit 100 right now, trying to see if maybe they'll bite on a crank. We're gonna switch over to a different lure here in a moment. Last year when I was here, the one that I got it to bite on, I was actually using, man, that wind is picked up here. Just a jig head and creature bait on the end of it. And it bit half the damn creature bait off. Josie, I saw those pictures. I didn't get a chance to comment on any of them, but I saw your recent post with the pictures. Was that a baby gar you caught that you foul hooked? Now how the hell do you foul hook a baby gar? And the world's tiniest catfish. Did you just scoop that up there? I can't imagine you caught that on a pole. I don't know, I've caught itty bitty fish on poles, I guess. I'm going for cats tomorrow. Heck yeah. What kind of cats do you have there, MHG? We have pretty good sized channel cats here. Pike was around 28, I'm guessing. Spoon, red and white. It's an Eppinger Daredevil, that sounds like. Could have been chartreuse decades ago. Oh, okay, Eric, okay. Yeah, definitely good luck, MHG. Didn't strike until right at the boat. Yeah, they're like that sometimes. They'll follow you all the way up to the boat or all the way to the shore. Muskie are notorious for that. That's why you always see people doing the figure eights with them. They stalk and they stalk and they stalk. It's really hard to do from the shore though, unless you're, you know, unless you have basically a steep drop off right in front of you. And there's nothing steep or drop off anywhere in here. So we don't get to do the figure eights. But we're gonna try now the rip and wrap in Fire Tiger. If I can get the damn thing on the clip here. There we go. Blue channel and flat. Oh shit, you got all of them there. Nice. You get big ones? Our biggest, our state record here in Montana is somewhere around 40 pounds. So good size, but not nearly as big as they get in other places in the US. Can you use shrimp as bait? Harjeet, welcome to the stream. Yeah, shrimp can work. I didn't bring any today. I have some in the freezer. I brought creek chub. That's what's on this other pole over here. Yeah, I was a baby gar. I was using a popper bass fishing. Didn't know it was even hooked. Catfish I thought was a tadpole when I grabbed it. They were so tiny. Yeah, super cute. I could see how they'll look like a tadpole until you got it in your hand. Heck bro, every time I see you on your live, you're in a new spot, way cool. What lake you at today? So this is a small pond. This is Fish, Wildlife and Park around here calls this their secret pond. It's I don't know, about 10 acres or so. You gotta cross a river and fight your way through the brush back there to get in here. But there's tiger muskie, there's black crappie, there's largemouth bass, pumpkinseed, bluegill, white sucker, yellow perch, and a shitload of really, really big carp. But we're after the tiger muskie here today. That's my ultimate goal. Anytime I come back here, that's what I fish for. One of these days I'm gonna land one. Hopefully that day's today. That would be sweet to be able to catch my first tiger muskie on stream. But if y'all are regulars in here, you've been in here before, you might remember Flash. He's one of the mods in here, and he's actually over across the bank there fishing. He's gotten 2 largemouth bass so far, I think. He's fishing over there with his buddy. What's up, Crappie Man Jigs? How you doing, buddy? The Holy Mackerel, welcome. State record for blues there is 44 pounds. That's a good sized fish. Yeah, I've never caught a blue. We have the channel cats here. The state record's about 40 pounds on those. Biggest I've got is around 20 pounds. And then the only other catfish we have here are yellow and black bullhead, and they only get to be a little over a pound. And then we have stone cats, which are just, I think the state record's like 5 or 6 inches on them. They're just little guys. How you doing, Crappie Man? Is your video still chugging along? I haven't had a chance to check today. I've been working all day. Charles Jackson in Montana. What part? We're in central Montana. This is just outside of Great Falls or Vaughan, Montana. Biggest I've got was 8-pound blue on a kayak. That's a good sized cat. Yeah, most of them that I catch are 8 to 10 pounds around here. But they do get, you know, up to 40. Every once in a while I'll pull a 14, 15 pounder out, and I did pull a 20 pound last year. Crappie man, got your awesome baits today. I'm gonna do a video, show them, if you don't mind being tagged. Well, I'm sure you don't mind. That's good advertisement for him. I'm fine with you tagging me, that's fine. Holy mackerel. How you doing, mackerel? 431K, still chugging. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, I figured it was gonna roll right past 400. And again, my expectation is if, I was reading last night too, so it was saying that while engagement is important, it was some study that some firm was doing that helps people go viral. They were saying that your average view duration is oftentimes the most important out of all of the statistics, and that if you can keep it at closer to 100%, it stays, the longer it's going to keep going. Which is why I think of those handful of the lure videos that I have that aren't doing nearly as well as your remelt video, but are still just continuously getting views. I have one of them that, you know, the average view duration is still like 120 or 125% on it. I said, truly what you're looking for, the ones that, when you're gonna see something go, you know, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, those are the ones that hit 200% and stay there. And they were saying that the trick or the key to that is trying to do, you know how people do the like seamless videos where you can't really tell where it starts, where it ends, you get like just the loop? Those are the ones they say, that's how they get their clients viral videos. Art of Pain, how you doing, buddy? Welcome, welcome. I have a feeling they're gonna kick some bass ass. Yeah, they're doing good over there. Oh, you're talking about the lures. You kick bass ass whatever you're fishing on over there, Josie. You post some of the nicest bass I've seen. Mr. Beff Tackle said good luck. Welcome, I appreciate that. We need some. I can't seem to, I've never managed to pull one out of here. Well, we're trying. Posted another today. It's got 4K already, so maybe double hitter, probably not. That's not bad. That's a good start. Thought you were gonna wait for the first one to die though. Hopefully I'll get some video to upload tomorrow. MHD, yeah, definitely. You planning on fishing with cut bait, or what are you using for your, what do you use when you catfish over there? I usually use cut bait, white sucker, or sometimes these creek chub work real well. El Dubbo, I'll be back later. Good luck. All right, appreciate that. Enjoy your noms there, El Dubbo. Sneaky Banana Dude. Welcome to the stream, Sneaky Banana Dude. It's quite the name there, buddy. War Dog, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Still trucking, so maybe it doesn't do anything. Yeah, what you were saying yesterday, where, you know, don't post, you don't post another one until the first one has died. I've heard a bunch of people, and a lot of stuff that I've read was saying similar. That seems to be a fairly common practice. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't think the algorithm works like that. Who knows though? It's fucking voodoo as far as I'm concerned. Cut bacon, bit chicken, and shrimp. Okay, those are good choices. I have like 8.8K on one video, and I thought that was a lot. Yeah, Josie, I think my, other than my live streams have done way better than any of my shorts or videos. I think the most views I have on any of my shorts so far is like 8K or 9K. I don't even think I've breached 10K yet. We'll get there one of these days. South Valley of Otto, what's up, buddy? I like sports. Asked, what's your PB? I've never actually landed a tiger muskie, so I don't have a PB. The biggest fish I've ever landed, weighed and measured, is 22.5 pound, 42 inch northern pike. And I am trying to improve upon that. What's the best way for me to fix a small hacksaw cut in the foot of my reel? I would say get some epoxy, some hard drying epoxy. Mix it up, fill her in, let it dry off real good, and then get some sandpaper and smooth her on back out. I believe you got to make a Powerpuff Girl. I think it's views. I don't know. I have another one of those perch swarming videos that I got from the last time I was at Fishkin, and I put it together last night, and I really, really liked it. But I'm using the audio, you know, the what is it, Finding Nemo, the seagulls that are like, mine, 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 mine. And it looked really good, but I started looking it up, and I don't think I can actually use that without getting a copyright strike. So I got to redo it. First boat, now shore fishing, heck yeah. Oh yeah, we fish 2 to 3 times, usually at least a week here, and we do bank fishing, boat fishing. We fish lakes, streams, ponds, rivers. Anywhere that's water and it's got fish in it, I will fish it. I don't care. This is a local pond from my house. You guys, if you've been in here before, you've probably seen me fishing pond number 2, which is across the river. This is pond number 3. This one I gotta wade across a river and hike through frickin' the brush and stuff over here. It's a pain in the butt to get here. I have a video of me releasing my 6.7 pound bass. That one will go somewhere. It could, yeah. Oh God, that's such a nice bass. I'm so jelly. 6.7 pounds. The biggest smallmouth I caught was 2 pounds. Brexton, welcome to the stream. South Valley, what state is this? We're in central Montana. I like Sports says that's a good fish. Oh God, man, I was so happy when I landed that pike. It was a behemoth. Oh God, we got turtles. I forgot this pond had so many turtles in it. JB Weld, yeah, that could work too. I mean, I think that is actually an epoxy-based product, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, JB Weld should be I think that's a hard drying epoxy. Montana, South Valley. Catch a bass. Kayla Strebel, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we might do a little bit of bass fishing here in a bit. We're gonna try for muskie here for a little bit. And in fact, a bass might bite on one of these cranks. Bass will bite on anything. Hammer time, what's up, buddy? Welcome, welcome. We're trying to catch a tiger muskie. We got one pole out here that I'm hiding. You can't really see, it's behind me over here. With a cut bait on it. And then we're throwing a rattle trap right now. We tried a crankbait a little bit ago. Now we're on to the rattle trap. We're just gonna cycle through some different baits here. It's a largemouth. I'm with you on small. Oh, okay. Yeah, my biggest largemouth is 2.5 pounds. I'm not doing much better than Smalley. Oh, there again, I don't usually target them all that often. Greg Thomas, welcome, welcome. What's happening, homie? How's the fishing? We've been fishing for a half hour or so. Nothing yet. Flash is in the background over here. You can see across on the other side, right there. He's fishing with a buddy. They've caught a couple of largemouth bass, sorry. Did a fishing stream this morning. I got 5 crappie and a catfish off the boat ramp dock. Heck yeah! What kind of catfish? And when you say crappie, are they black crappie, white crappie? What kind of crappie do y'all have over there? This pond has black crappie in it. I've never caught one out of here, but they're in here. CK, welcome, welcome. Yeah, sounds about right. I think it must be some type of epoxy. Managed to nick the reel with the hacksaw while I was trying to detach it from the rod. Rod, reel, where does hacksaw come into the equation? I mean, normally they have the old twisties on it and it just pops off. You literally had to cut, what did the twisty fucking freeze up on you or something? Black crappie and small catfish, like 3 pounds. Fun on an 8-foot pole, 6-pound line. What is with y'all that fish 6-pound line, 4-pound line, 10-pound line? I shouldn't talk. I don't get it. I'm like 30-pound or nothing over here. I guess if you're fishing somewhere you're not dealing with pike or really big fish. But I mean, so like 30-pound Suffix Advanced braid is equivalent to the size of 6-pound mono. So I mean, it's thin. It's super thin line. I don't know. I don't understand why people pick. Catfish hit my crappie jig. I use 4-pound most of the time. Really? Is there any particular reason? What is the real benefit of using such light line? I mean, are you one of the believers that the fish are... Oh, you're throwing super ultralight jigs. Okay. I guess that makes sense. What's up, Fishing with Ryan? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, the twisty was jammed. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm like, why did the hacksaw come into the equation? That sucks. Yeah, I would imagine the JB Weld, just read the directions on it, make sure you're mixing it correctly and that you allow the proper cure time on it. But once you do that, then grab some sandpaper and just gently sand it back out. I think you should be able to fix it. Especially if it's just a nick. Could have avoided it entirely if I'd been more careful, but I'm just too wild. It was my Shimano Stratic too. I'm gutted. Ah, that's a shame. I think you're all right though. I think you should be able to fix it with the JB Weld. Wait, they sell 1/64 jigs. Oh yeah, a lot of people fish with super ultralight gear. I've never got into super ultralight fishing. I'm the type of guy who I use a ton of hardware usually. I'd never make it ultralight fishing. Sounds good. Thanks for the reassurance, Rod. Much appreciated. No problem, dude. I hope it works out for you. I think you'll be all right, though. But Crappie man, what? I know you said it was a small catfish, but what kind? Or do you have blues over there? Flathead, channel cats? Heck, nicked the rest of it, painted all purple, more grip. No, I think he nicked the. All right, that's weeds. Like, there's no way that's a fish. Oh, we got some fresh weeds. Anyone know what kind of weed that is? Something I need to get better at is identifying milfoil versus like the 9 billion different kinds. Anyone know what that is? I don't. I see it in quite a few of the waters around here though. It's got like the thick pink stalk and like a brushy foliage. I don't know what it is. Eric, I'd smoke it. Hard pass. Hard pass, my friend. I've only fished with 132 ounce. Man, I'm like, if I'm throwing a jig, it's usually 3/8 ounce or bigger. 3/8, half ounce, 3/4. I throw the chunky stuff. £100 test and 12-foot rod. Poor man, that is a big ass pole. The biggest rod I've ever fished with, I think, was just under 10. Smoked salmon, my bro. Well, yeah. I'd eat smoked salmon, but not. I wouldn't smoke the green stuff that I pulled out of the water. It was a channel cat. Okay, I was watching live scope for 5 years. Small profiles just get hammered, so that makes sense. I mean, if that's what they bite on, that's what they bite on. Is that, I mean, I know your Crappie man jigs, is that like your go-to? That's your favorite fish to fish for? Man, something just jumped right in the fucking weeds right here. What was that? I was staring at my lure. Anyone see what jumped out of the weeds right there? Colt the fisherman, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I remember you. How you doing today, Colt? Welcome back. Appreciate those thumbs up, guys. Poor man, big musky. Oh, for throwing your big musky baits. I see, I see. Yeah, we didn't bring any monsters here today. When I fish from my boat, that's where all my big musky baits are. We're at a pond back here that you gotta hike across a river and up the side of a frickin' mountain and through these trees and shit, so. And I already had, you know, I'm carrying Starlink Mini and my backpack full of gear and a net, fishing poles. It's a lot to carry. Brad Wilson, welcome to the stream. Josie, I use live scope. I put the bait in the mouth. Yeah, the 1.5 little minnow is what I started everything for me. Interesting. I use a 15-foot in the spring for shallow crappie. Why? What's the people that I've seen use big poles like that are like the people who shore fish on the ocean, and they use it to do the wind up, and it's all to get their really heavy rigging way out there. Why would you be using a 15-foot pole to catch crappie with? That seems insane. Burks Outdoors, welcome, welcome. How you doing today, Burks? Man, I'm waiting for this pole to explode back here with the cut bait. Come on, fishy. It's such a small pond back here. I don't know where the hell they hide. There's only like 2 or 3 deeper holes. It's midsummer, the water's warm. They gotta be around these deeper spots, I would imagine. That's crazy though, 15-foot fucking pole. So even when you bust it down in half, it's still the size of a normal pole. Crystal V, welcome, welcome. I'm doing wonderful. We're fishing. It's a nice day out. This is what I live for. How you doing today, Crystal? I'm doing wonderful, Burke. Glad to hear you're doing well. Crappie are spooked in 10 foot or less. I target one fish at a time that look to be 2 pounds or bigger, so the further out I can get without. Okay, they're really skittish, huh? Yeah, I've only ever purposefully fished for crappie once. And I caught one pretty small black crappie. I was excited though, it was my first. I didn't realize they were such a spooky fish though. And I mean, we're fishing right now in the wind-blown corner of the pond, which is where it should be pushing all the bait fish. I just don't know where in this pond it would be. It's pretty sweet. I don't have a fish finder or anything. Yeah, I don't have the fancy live scope. We got the finder on my boat though. No sound. I don't know what is with these Bluetooth fucking mics. When they work wonderful, but they just they crap out randomly. My boat is almost ready. When I stream, I'll show you all about scope. Yeah, I'd love to learn about it. I've watched a handful of videos of you know, people fishing with them, but they never really show how they operate it. Brad Wilson, welcome to the stream. How you doing, Brad? He's fine for me. I know what you mean about the mics. Yeah, I mean, it's just frustrating. Like, I mean, it's not constant, but at least a few times a stream I have, and I get no indication that it's not working here. It's not like it died. It's still on. It's active. I just have to turn it off, turn it back on, and then it's working again. I didn't lose sound. That was strange. Oh, okay. Maybe it was just Josie. Josie, did your battery die in your hearing aid? Kidding. Oh, my bad. Somehow I turned my headphones down. Nice. Good job, Josie. No biggie. All right, I need to find this hole, and I'm just gonna drop this guy down in it, and we're gonna annoyingly jig it around for a little while. I ordered new mics today for the bank video so people can hear me complain about the bluegill not biting for bait. Man, come down here and fish for bluegill. You can't keep them little bastards off the line. What kind of mics did you get? I'm using these DJI Mic 2. I mean, they were some of the most, I mean, not most expensive, but moderately expensive, and have really, really good reviews. But I think a lot of people don't use the Bluetooth functionality on them. They might run them as, you know, a static mic. Burke says, have a good one, brother. Appreciate that, Burke. Thanks for swinging in. Always good to see you when I'm off camera. $30 TikTok set. Oh, okay. Yeah, anything, as long as you get, you know, Bluetooth and the little muffy here, I think anything's better than trying to record off of the mic. You know, the phone mic or the camera mic. Wind noise just kills audio in streams. I don't care how good the fishing is. I can only watch those videos for so long before I'm like, all right, I'm out. Matey Majorado. No, we have a cat so far yet. Nope, no fish so far. We do have catfish in here. They're yellow and black bullhead though. They're just little. I think the biggest one I've caught out of this pond is about 9.5 inches. Once I was fishing with my friend and I caught my PB bear. 5 pounds. That's good. That's a good sized fish. All right, we'll throw the rattle trap here a couple more times. They don't seem to be digging it. Crystal V, welcome back. Oh, we're doing pretty good. We're fishing. I have very few complaints ever when I'm fishing. We're chilling. We're at the secret pond here today, trying our luck at the old elusive tiger muskie. They're in here, and there's some big ones in here. I just don't know where the hell they hide. It's such a small pond too. It's only like 10 acres. Remember your 13-inch brookie? Yeah, I remember you talking about that, Crystal. And I remember telling you that I'm jealous because I've never caught a brookie, even though they're all over around here. Eric, I just watched Lake Placid. Watch out for big alligators, man. Yeah, we don't have alligators here in Montana. Fortunately, because I would not be out here fishing if we had alligators. I like big toothy fish, not big toothy reptiles. You're like, one time I actually went fishing with my friend again, and I was using this crawfish thing, like a plastic beef, and then you cut it off, and I caught a big old nice little. Nice. Yeah, we haven't caught anything here yet today. Besides a whole bunch of weeds. There are some fat carp that are, I think, spawning or carp are starting to spawn. There were a couple of piles of them rolling in the water, like 5, 6, 7 of them all in a big pile. I got a short little clip of it as I was walking in. I had to stop and bust out my my camera. Hold on, I need to grab a soda somewhere. I'm stepping on my fishing pole again. Poor man, do you have bat or duck bait for muskie? No, no bat, no duck. I'm using creek chub cut bait. Still creek chub on the line over here, over there. And then the pole that I was just casting with was using a fire tiger rattling wrap, ripping wrap. That's what they're called, Rapala ripping wrap. But we're about to swap that out for a Rebel Craw crankbait. Rat. I've never tried any of those. Bat, rat, or duck. Do you use those? Those work good for musky bait, poor man? Matey, man, it looks like. How long have you been fishing for? We've been streaming for 64 minutes, and it took me about 10-15 minutes to get set up once I put the camera on. So, a little under an hour. The poles have been in the water. Hear any Bigfoot sightings from any friends? No, Eric, I have not heard about any Bigfoot sightings. But I did hear that there's a bear den somewhere back in the brush here, which is a little interesting. I've fished back here so many times. I normally don't bring a pistol or bear spray back here with me. I need to start doing so. Mr. Flores, I believe something could be out there. The wilderness is so vast, if something doesn't want to be found, it won't be. That's possible. I mean, I think it's highly unlikely, but it's possible. We're still discovering new creatures every day. Most of them, though, are sea-dwelling creatures, though. Interesting, poor man. I'll have to keep that in mind next time I catch a mouse or a rat in my rat trap. I'll throw her in the freezer and we'll bring her out for bait. Oh. All right, one more cast with the rattle trap and then we're gonna swap to something else. All right, they didn't want the rip and wrap. We're gonna swap over to the Rebel Craw here. I have a feeling we're gonna switch baits a bunch of times today, as I usually do when I'm here, because they don't bite on anything. Any of y'all ever fish for muskie from shore? Have any tips? Normally, the spot that I fish from my boat, so that's a little different than bank fishing. Oh, into the weeds. All sorts of little fish jumping here. Half tempted to just throw on a bobber rig and let the little tiger muskie fish with our cut bait, and we'll see what the hell else we can pull out on a bobber rig. Oh, these weeds. Get out of the weeds. Maybe after I throw the craw here for a little bit, we'll switch to a bobber rig and see if we can maybe pull a bass or a crappie or something else out. What's up, Ed? Welcome, welcome. No, we haven't caught anything yet. We're here. We have a cut bait pull in, and I've been switching through different crankbaits and stuff like that. You know, so my friend surprised me. What is a new boat? We were fishing on it, and I caught like a 2-pound, but 2 feet long because they're out there, and I start wiggling it like a little fish and then a little. Nice. Good job. Eric, what is that? Camera, crazy face. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, Eric. What's up? All right, man. Good luck. Flash is moving. I've seen Muskie shop book, 1,000 baits for sale. There's so many different things people use for muskie. I've always fished for them like I fish for pike, and a pike will bite on damn near anything. It's all about just getting the bait in front of their face. And I fish this end of the pond because I've had buddies. This is where I did have one on the line last year, and I have a couple of buddies that say that they, not frequently, but every few years they come down here and ice fish. And over the deeper hole here is where they set up their ice tent and poke a hole in the ice, and they've caught multiple muskie out of here. This is kind of where I always gravitate towards. Most of the rest of the pond is super, super shallow. Tip number 1, dynamite. There you go, Eric. That probably would be a highly effective muskie lure. It would kind of kill the release of the catch and release part, but you definitely would get the catching part down. Tip number 2, blow bubbles, snorkel. So there's that makes me think, so there's a lake near here called Salmon Lake. We camped there last year and fished for 2-3 days. And there's a guy on Fish Brain that goes there every year, and he just cleans up. He snorkels and he spear guns. And he takes a picture at the end of his trip, and he's got, it's like a wire laid out, and it's just pike, 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 pike. It's just a whole stringer full. Big ones, little ones. But he'll stay there for like a week. So like every day it's a picture of a new string. It's like, man, who the hell, why? There's no way you eat all those damn things. He's just in there like assassinating them. Cool to see, but irritating. Like I keep what I'm gonna eat. I don't like people that keep and kill fish just to do it. Oh, Rebel Craw, catch me a muskie. Kane 2K, cheating, yeah. Is not legal in most of the water bodies around here. They allow, during the winter you can spear them. They have, they're like a trident, like a 3-pronged fork that people jab down through the ice holes when they're fishing for them. But most of the water bodies around here, you're not allowed to use a spear gun. That particular one is in a Western Fishing District. It's not in Central, so they apparently do allow spear gun fishing there. But that whole, they call it the Clearwater Lakes or something like that. It's a whole series of, I think, 6 or 7 lakes on the Clearwater River. And it's called Clearwater for a reason. It's some of the most clean, pristine water I've ever seen. You can see down, when you're in the boat for a good 10-20 foot. Really good visibility. That's where I want to go to record with my my underwater cameras. If you can't catch them, join them. There you go, Eric. Fat Cat, what's up, buddy? How you doing today? We're trying to catch a dang tiger muskie. I think we're gonna switch over on this rig here in a little bit though, and we'll just let the rod soak that's got the cut bait on it for the muskie, and we'll see if we can maybe pull a bass or a black crappie or something else out of here while we wait. The guy probably freezes them and smokes them, which can also be frozen. I bet pike would make really good fish soup. The stuff we made when we were little in Wenatchee. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, he's on there constantly. Like last year, I probably saw him haul out of Salmon Lake and Elbow Lake, which is right next to Salmon Lake. I mean, it had to have been close to 50 or 60 pike last year. And I mean, not just like eater-sized ones. Like I keep 2-3 pounders. He's keeping, 10, 12, 15 pounders and whole stringers full of them. You know, I mean, you're allowed 10 a day out of those reservoirs or lakes. It's just, I mean, hundreds of pounds of pike meat. It's absurd. What the hell was that? That might have been a muskie. So the other lake that I fish for, Ackley Lake, which is about 120 miles east of where I am right now, while you're going around in the boat there, you'll see like head come up out of the water, and it's the muskie. They like literally stick their head out of the water to look above the surface of the water. And I was telling the groundskeeper there, this old dude who's apparently been taking care of that lake or reservoir for, like he had said, 20 or 30 years. I was telling him that I was seeing it, and I didn't know what the hell it was, and he's telling me, oh, that's the muskie, they do that. He couldn't explain why they do it, but apparently they do. And then they do like almost a snaky thing on the top of the water. Similar to how carp, when they're spawning, they roll in the water. Apparently the tiger muskies do that as well. I kept spotting them doing that. But I don't know why. That's weird that they like literally poke their head out of the water. I don't know if they're looking for, you know, baby ducks, geese, or if they're just checking out the views. Just hanging out, fat cat? Right on. Yeah, I've been trying to pull a muskie out of this pond for about 3 years now. Fished it heavily last year. This is, I think, probably the third or fourth time I've been here this year. Here in UK, there's a Scottish dish called Cullen skink. You guys ever heard of it? Uh-uh. I've never heard of that, okay? What's in Cullen skink? Swim right in them. Tip 3, they like nets. Swim right in. Well, I got a net sitting right there. It's waiting to be filled. Red Hat Solutions, MM2, catch that fish, man. That is what we are trying to do, my friend. We're not sitting out here twiddling our thumbs. We have one pole in the water with creek chub cut bait on it, and then we're throwing right now a Rebel Craw crankbait. Poor man, look for ducks. Yeah, I don't see any. Oh, that's what you think they're doing, is looking for ducks when they poke their head out like that? That's what I assumed, you know, that they're looking for food. But you'd think they'd just be able to see that swimming from underneath. Tip 4, invite them over for poker night. Just don't let them bring their car truck. Oh, goddamn it, weeds. Like, oh, I got something. These weeds are out. I mean, it looks like from the surface about 5 to 7 foot, but when you put on diving crankbaits, they're out much further than that. And every time I hook up on them, that tension, I feel like it feels like a bite. Keep getting excited. Ooh, that was a terrible cast. Ethan Stevie channel, welcome, welcome. Gia, welcome, welcome. How you doing? Appreciate that. I need it. I've never managed to pull one out of here. We'll be so stoked if we can. Now, where did they go? Oh, they're still wandering the bank line over there. I should have told them it's super shallow over there. I don't think they found a good spot. Ethan says, hope you catch something. Me too. Yeah, we're after tiger muskie, which are in here. They've been stocking this pond, from what I understand, from what the data on the FWP website says, for about 12 to 15 years. Nobody fishes back here ever, though. I think out of all the times I've been back here, I've seen somebody back here twice. The first time I was back here, there were a couple of kids that carried a freaking canoe all the way over here so they could get to one of these little islands that's out here. And when I was walking up, they were pulling out something. I thought it was a pike at first, but it wasn't until I looked up the data on the Fish, Wildlife, and Park website that I realized that there are no pike in here, that it was a tiger muskie. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I'm coming back to fish for tiger muskie. It was just a little one, though. It looked like it was maybe 20, 24 inches. But I've never managed to pull one in here. Maybe today will be the lucky day. Appreciate that. Eric, try dead bluegills, no weights, dragon tug along bottom. Unfortunately, bluegill is not permitted as bait here in central Montana. Not for live bait, not as cut bait. What I'm using right now is chunks of creek chub that I got when I was sturgeon fishing earlier in the year. Did you know lobworms can live up to 20 years and live in the same home nearly their whole lives? Okay, I'm not familiar with what a lobworm is. What the heck is a lobworm? But a worm that lives 20 years? That's crazy. Is that one of them scary longworms that God, I can't remember what, I was watching a video the one time. And they were throwing little chunks of meat out and waiting for it to come up out of the hole, and then they grab them and it just kept coming and coming. Hammy D, welcome to the stream. How you doing today, Hammy? Carter I8K. We're trying to catch some tiger muskies here. We have one pole in the water with cut bait on it, and I'm running through some different crankbaits here. In Maine, I dug bloodworms and sandworms. Yeah, I've seen bloodworms. I don't know what the hell a sandworm is, though, Eric. Like cicada? Yeah, those are when I lived down in Tennessee for a year, I was down there during one of the hatches. Those things were so annoying. Like the entire time I was there, it's just like ear-piercing, droning noise. Stinky with like 100 Ys. What's up, Stinky? Why you have a bead and swivel for a crankbait? It's just kind of my universal setup. The bead is to protect the end of the pole, the first eye, so I don't pull my swivel through. And I use a swivel and a clip for everything. I don't ever tie anything on. So this is just, no matter what I'm throwing, this is what's on there. The bead also can act as an attractant. But the main purpose of it is just to protect the tip of my pole so I'm not yanking the metal swivel in it. 20 years as a grub. Yeah, that's right. They stay underground or in the trees or whatever for a long, long time. They're longer, centipede looking. Huh. Lobster fisherman, dock worker. Huh, it says chopped up Cloverdale hot dogs bait. Caught fish using that. Night fishing. Yeah, hot dogs, I've caught a surprising number of species off of hot dogs. When you feel like doing some more underwater footage, I watch those videos and they're really good. Carter, I'm glad you like it. I have a whole stockpile of footage that I'm still, when I find time, I cut one up and I post it. I was working on one last night, another perch video. I don't know if you've seen the perch swarm videos. I got some cool, another swarm video that I was working on last night, and I got it about ready to post. And then I realized one of the sounds that I was using in it was a copyrighted sound, and it would have got me a copyright strike on my channel if I posted it like that. So I had to scrub it and start back over. But I will be. I have enough for probably 30 or 40 more of those underwater videos to make. they'll be coming. Just between fishing and working full time, and it's hard to find you know, downtime to sit down and edit. Ethan's TV channel, welcome to the stream, and appreciate the sub there, buddy. Good night, Munchie. Any luck yet? No, we haven't had no luck on the crankbait pole there, and nothing off, or excuse me, the cut bait pole, and no hits or anything off the cranks yet. I'm about to switch over. If the wind would die down here, I was thinking about throwing on a bobber rig and seeing if we could pull a bass or something as simple as chicken skin. That could work. People keep telling me bacon, and I forgot fucking bacon again. Katrina Cook, do you use steel leaders? Yeah, steel, or in this case, I'm using this is like a 60 or an 80-pound fluorocarbon leader. The cut bait rig in the water has 80-pound steel leader on it. Chicken skin would probably work good as bait, though. Fucking tick. God damn it. I hate ticks. I saw all of them. They're really intensive perch. Yeah, the perch, honestly, out of all the different species, the perch I think are the funniest. I mean, I have some really good perch footage that I haven't posted yet. Like I said, I'm working on editing it. I don't like to just post it raw. Maybe I will at some point. I'll do some like raw compilations or something like that. But no, the perch I think are the funniest. There's just they're always traveling schools, and they're so fast. But I'm gonna try it in the next day or two. Hopefully, I will have reworked the one that I was working on last night and gotten rid of the copyrighted sound so I can put it on. Outdoors with Kaysen, welcome to the stream. I love fishing. I love fishing too. Eric says I might have pinworms. Oh, that sounds fun, Eric. Why do you think you have pinworms? Carter says you can call me Carter. All right, I will call you Carter. Keep it simple, Eric. That's nasty, right? It tickles. I bet, buddy. Yeah, ticks are freaking gross. The last time I went catfishing, I ended up passed out next to the campfire, and I woke up. I packed up and went home and crawled into bed. And after I woke up from my nap, I was scratching. I had something like an itch on my arm, and I started itching. And I looked down, and there was a freaking tick embedded in my arm that had been chomping off me for God knows how long, 12, 18 hours. I hate those damn things. Don't run into them very often, but it's the first time I've seen one back here, and he was biting me on the damn neck. Keoki, welcome, welcome. How you doing, Keoki? You caught anything yet? Nope. We're about to. It looks like the wind died down. We're gonna dump the crankbait here and switch over to just a bobber rig here for a little bit, just so we can catch something. We're gonna get our skunk out here, and then we might go back to throwing cranks for the tiger muskies. But we do have in the water right now a high-low rig with 2 pieces of cut bait on it. And I think out of anything back here, I think that's gonna be my best luck. Andrea Campis, ciao gratabarba. Welcome to the stream, Andrea. I don't know what that means, but welcome. You find one tick, then it feels like they're on you for a while. Oh God. So when I was, I think I was like 16, 17, I worked during the summer at a wild game processing plant, or in the winter at a wild game processing plant, summer as lawn care. And I did it for 2 seasons in a row. And so they would bring in, especially earlier in the season, the deer, the elk, etc. They were all covered in frickin' ticks. And so I would fight with them every time I'd go into work. But the big ones, they're gross. They don't bother me as much because you can see them, you can grab them. What really creeped me out is you'd come home at the end of the day and you'd look and there's like itty bitty little tiny ticks crawling on you. You'd find them like in the back of your hairline and oh, gross. They're nasty little creatures. I'm surprised I didn't end up with Lyme's disease or one of the billion different frickin' nasty things they cause. But yeah, parasites in general are like, I don't know, they're a phobia of mine. It's one of the only reasons I haven't moved to somewhere tropical. I wanted to for a long time to go to like Belize or Costa Rica or one of them really tropical places, till I started reading about all the damn parasites that they have down there. It's like, nah, no thanks. I'll pass. I don't need weird shit living in my eyeball or in my brain. That's not what I was looking for. All right, let's see if we can pull something in with just the old trusty bobber and micro hook and tipped with a Nightcrawler. All right, so again, we just have a slip bobber set up here, or not a slip, a clip-on bobber. I use inline weight, so I don't have to use the snap-on weights. Half the time I cast my line and I throw the damn things off, so I switch to these. And we're just using it's like a size 6 or so bait hook, just with a little tip of a Nightcrawler. Perch are so bold in nature, funny little things. They really are, dear mama. I catch little perch off of big lures. They have very high hopes in life. Mint soap will help with ticks. I'll remember that. Yes, Carter, I will call you Carter. Munchie, hate ticks, especially when they're on my dog. Leg. Tremaine, welcome to the stream. How you doing, buddy? Been swallowing tobacco juice from my dip, ain't getting rid of them. Tried whiskey. Eric, go to the doctor, my friend. Good Lord. Go get a bottle of ivermectin or something. Munchie, like button smashed. Appreciate that, Munchie. All y'all, 66 likes already. That's awesome. Thank you. Appreciate the sub there, Outdoors with Kassan. I can't remember anybody liking ticks. Probably, that's probably true. Hot pepper ain't getting them either. Oh, Eric, you're just going through the gauntlet there, huh? Carter, what lures do you have in your tackle box? I can show you maybe in a little bit here. Munchie, lots of them in Ontario. Do you? The muskies take dead baits? Oh yeah, muskie pike. That's tends to be a good way of fishing for them. All right, so we're over here with bobber rig. We'll let that go for a few. Let me get through the comments here. I use a smaller version of that crawfish for small bass and bluegill. Katrina, yeah, the first time I fished that was a couple of weeks. In there, he was biting off of it. So I was like, man, I gotta get me one of them. Do you like to fish every single day? No, I would if I could. I try to make it out at least 2 to 3 times a week, no.
Motion detected in the side yard.
What livers do you have in your tackle box? I think you mean lures. I'll show you at Carter in a little bit. We'll get to the tackle box. Outdoors with Kasan, catch fish for 69 likes. We're trying to get one. We just put the bobber rig on. It should be just a matter of time before we pull something out of here. What kind of mint soap, poor man? I'll bet $10 he's got a tapeworm. That who's got a tapeworm? Me? I don't think I have a tapeworm. I'm pretty sure I'd been pulling tapeworm segments out of one or more of my orifices, if that was the case. You had a bite. Where? There might have been nibbles down. So we have little bullheads in here, and they could be picking at the crank or the cut bait down there. But I'm running like 4/0, 5/0 circle hooks that they're not going to get it. Crappie Man and SoCal are live. Okay, yeah, SoCal was live when I left. Crappie Man was in here for a little bit, but he usually does do an evening stream. Wish 100, welcome to the stream. Carter, I didn't see a bite. All right, mic any better? Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to get caught up on the chat so I could see when there's problems with the mic. Should be better now. I turned it off and turned it back on. Redneck went fishing today, used a 2.5 square bill. Had some luck. Thanks for the tip you gave me on the last stream. Ooh, that was a muskie right there. Good God. He's in the super shallow. Fuck. Yeah, glad you caught something. What'd you end up getting, Redneck? The shallow diving square bill crankbaits are they're good. Especially again, if you fish them right and you're ticking it off the bottom, they'll catch all sorts of stuff. Hey brother, this is a bit calmer than your reservoir outing. Yeah, Echo man. Glad to see you again there. Mike, good. Okay. It was off and on. It's good now. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I do have 2 of them. I'm gonna have to bust out the other one next stream and see if it behaves any better. I think I'm down to just the last couple though, the tough ones. Feeling kind of attached now, almost like pets that crawl out and man, that's nasty, Eric. You got a frog. Something keeps surfacing over that looked like a muskie. I might have to move my cut bait here in a few. Little fish just top. Yeah, it's starting to see quite a bit of topwater activity. Edit Films, welcome to the stream. No, we have not caught anything yet. We have one pole soaking in the water with cut bait for tiger muskie, and we just switched over. The second pole that I'm holding right here is just a basic bobber rig tipped with a Nightcrawler. Seeing what else we can maybe pull out of here while we wait on the tiger muskie. Bass on ultralight bobber and worm, trying to catch bluegill, fight hard. Okay. Eric, perhaps the dock visit would suffice, especially if you wanted to follow-up appointment. Yeah, I'm sure they'll just give you something like ivermectin or something like that. You know, they'll clear the parasites out, if that is truly what the problem is. SoCal's caught 2 catfish. Right on. Yeah, that lake that he's fishing at, he fishes quite often. I think he normally fishes his boat there though. Got a couple of smallies, then a huge muskie came right at me, saw me, then dashed off. Oh shit. Well, the smallies are good. But yeah, them little crankbaits, pretty much any predatory fish will bite off of those. It's a really good form factor. And again, they cause enough commotion that they attract all sorts of fish. Shame on the muskie though. It's a bit lonely here. You mean in the chat? You mean at your house, or you mean at the lake here? What do you mean? Which here is here? Welcome everybody joining. We're fishing here, central Montana. This is the secret pond. The target for today is tiger muskie. They always seem to elude me when I come here, but I do like to come here from time to time to see if we can manage to pull one in. We have cut bait on pole number 1 over there, creek chub, and then over here you can kind of see there's a bobber floating. We just have a bobber rig set up, tipped with a Nightcrawler. Eric Kitchell, welcome to the stream. Moved to Georgia to take care of mother-in-law, so nobody. Oh, okay, you mean where you're living? Yeah, I know how that is, Eric. I lived on my own for quite a while. I traveled around, and it does get kind of lonely. But I mean, it is what it is. Go out, go to the bar, go to the park, go fishing. You'll run into some people. You have your pinworm. There you go. You got your pinworm buddies to keep you company, Eric. Sometimes I go to my grandpa's and catch the hybrids out of his pond with those crawfish. Oh yeah? What kind of hybrids are in the pond, Katrina? Outdoors with Kassan, you got a boat. Yeah, I fish just Sunday where we did a marathon stream fishing Pishkin Reservoir out of my boat. I think we ended up with 10 pike and 1 pike lip. I'll be all right. Wifey, dog died though. Sorry to hear that, Eric. Yeah, no, I mean, that's part of life. We lose people, we lose pets. But get out there, man. Go fishing. Go see if you can make some friends. Or at least just get out of the house for a little while. But yeah, Kassan, I love to fish from my boat. That's what I prefer to fish from. But the live streams here, we do bank fishing, we do boat fishing. Sometimes it's in ponds, lakes, rivers, streams. We kind of fish all over the place. A little bit of everything here on this channel. This winter we'll probably be doing some ice fishing. And I try to stream 2 to 3 times a week. Sometimes more, it usually depends on the weather. Something keeps jumping right frickin' there. I'm gonna pull this bobber rig in a little further. There's some those greenfish hybrids. Oh, okay, so sunfish hybrids that get good size, but he's got some giant crappie. Nice. Yeah, there's supposedly some really big crappie in here. Usually when I come here, all I fish for is muskie, so I've never really pulled much else out of here. I did catch some chunky bullhead and perch. But I know there's all sorts of other stuff back here. I did come here one time trying to fish for carp because there's huge carp in here. But it was about this same time of year and they're spawning, and they don't care about food when they're spawning. All they care about is fighting and fucking. Best fishing is ice fishing. I've never actually went Kassan. Got a buddy of mine that has a whole bunch of gear and invited me out last year. I think I'm gonna take him up on it this year. And if I like it, I'll probably buy a tent and, you know, ice house and a bunch of stuff. Bro looks like he hasn't ate in 2 weeks. Omar, I eat like a fat kid, my friend. But I usually only eat once a day. Grandpa's boat is a newer walleye boat with 175 and it doesn't work most of the time. Oh shit. Yeah, I got a beat up old boat with a 75 horsepower in it that, ooh, that was a bite. Something just jumped over there too. I don't know, first fish. And we have a pumpkin seed. Just a little guy, and he, of course, just engulfed it. In a sec here, while we perform surgery on this little guy. Good God. Oh, why do these little things eat it so deeply? There we go. Alrighty. They're such pretty little fish. That is a pumpkin seed. Telling y'all, tapeworm. Eric. Oop. Hey, and we got him. Let's get him back in the water. Fish number one, we got our skunk out. Oop. Now he went on the ground. Oh, buttholes. Oh, all right. Did we keep the worm? No, he got the worm. All right, we'll get this rig back up. Thank you, Katrina. Oh, Josie beat you to it. Thank you, Josie. Omar said, eat it. No, that's too little. We don't keep itty bitties like that. They're pretty little fish. They're one of probably the most exotic looking fish here in Montana, besides Arctic grayling. Lucas Garcia, welcome to the stream. Dear Mama says, nice colors. Right, they are. They're really, really pretty. Eric says, fish on, woohoo. Now put it back out there, and there'll be a lot more. Oh, these ponds are loaded with the bluegill and pumpkin seed. There are lots of them. But we're just gonna throw her a couple of feet off the shore right there. In fact, you guys can't even see that. Let me move the camera over slightly. Just at the edge of the camera is the cut bait pole. Can we see the bobber here, right there? You guys see that or no? James Slabberts, how's it going, Vox? That's pretty much such a pretty fish. Would love to add it to my tank. What have I missed? That's the first fish of the stream, James. And they are absolutely gorgeous fish. So nice out there, beautiful day. It really is. It is perfect out here today. Jay Fishing and Outdoors said hi, welcome to the stream. Maxine Lane, welcome to the stream. Josie said, be back, Rod, gotta do some gardening. All right, Josie, thanks for swinging in. We'll be here till sundown probably, so if you want to come back, we'll be here. But always good to see you, Josie. Caught any Arctic grayling there? I have not caught one. I've only went fishing for them one time, but we do have a few places around here. In fact, where we were on Sunday, Pishkin Reservoir, the next lake down the road is called Tunnel Lake, and there are Arctic grayling in there, and that's one of the only water bodies here in Montana that you're actually allowed to keep them out of. You can keep one It's either under or over. I forget what the hell the size limit is, but they are there and you can keep one. What's your favorite beer? I usually drink one of two things. Either Pabst, which is just cheap, shitty beer. I drink Pabst with Clamato juice, or I drink Corona and lime. What do you drink, Omar? Yep, you can see it. Hammy D, do you catch your own Nightcrawlers or just buy them? Recently I've been buying them. I need to build, my grandpa used to have, he had 2 electrodes that he would tie to like a motorcycle battery. And after good watering in the garden, you just shove them down, a couple of feet apart from each other, and the worms would just come up to the surface, and you could snag a whole bucket full of them in a few minutes. Bobber in sight. Okay, good, you can see it. I'm trying to catch up on the chat here. Schizo, what's up, buddy? How you doing? You're a member. Yeah, if you didn't buy it, there have been a bunch of people that have gifted memberships. So a lot of y'all have free 1-month membership to the Rod Squad. What's up? Welcome to the stream. What are you catching? Them 30-pound muskie? Trying to. So this particular water body is Fish, Wildlife, and Park call it their secret pond. Almost nobody fishes it. It's a 1/4 mile hike to get here, and you have to cross a river to get here, wade across a river. But they started stocking this place 10, 12 years ago-ish with tiger muskie. And so they're 40, 50 inches in here if you can get them. There's not a whole lot of them in here, but the ones that are in here should be just beastly if we can find them. We have one pull out with cut bait right now, creek chub. It's either creek chub or lake chub, I can't remember which. So that's what I'm expecting to catch them on if we do manage to catch one. And we're just dinking around while we wait. Bobber fishing with a chunk of a worm to see what else we can pull out of here. But yeah, if we can get one on the line, I would not be surprised if it's 20 to 30 pounds. I drink 805 and Sapporo. Okay. If you take a 5-gallon bucket and cut big holes in the bottom, set it in dirt, and make a homemade compost, worms will fill it to eat the scraps. Schizo, I saw a video similar to that a while back. I've completely forgot about it. I need to try that. Oh, Jesus Christ, what the hell did I just do there? Cheese and rice. There we go. I don't know, I think Flash and his buddy left. They were fishing off the point over there. I think I might have went back to the main pond. Yeah, I'll have to try that, Schizo. That'd be a quick and easy way to catch them. Lay some boards in your grass. Yeah, that works too. Yeah, I just remember when I was little, my grandpa would do the electrode thing, and we'd fill a whole coffee can in like 5 minutes. Just had to make sure that the garden was watered good the night before. In the woods, dig the leaves away from the base of almost any tree. Yeah, you can do that too. Now recently I just buy them. I should collect them though. I mean, it's like $5 for a dozen crawlers or some crap like that. It's getting so expensive. I've been getting some really fat ones though. What's up, Ontario? How you doing, buddy? We're out here trying our luck at the tiger muskies. I've never actually caught one out of this pond, but I did have one on the line last year. If we can get one on the line though, there are some absolute monsters in here. It's like a 10-acre pond, so it's pretty small and mostly shallow. We're fishing right next to one of the deep holes that I know of in here. Fishing with cut bait, seeing if maybe we can get one to bite. Good God, these things are jumping all over the place. I'm gonna move my bobber here in a minute. Surprised me how many worms are around trees and the fallen leaves. How long you been fishing this spot today? Xavier, welcome to the stream. Stream's been live for just under 2 hours. And we streamed for about 15 minutes before we got a pole in the water, so hour and a half. A little longer. What's up, Colby? How you doing, buddy? Outfish, you just get off work? Nick Meldrew, welcome to the stream. Eric, wonderful person, showed me that. Yeah, that's handy to know. I've never really dug through the leaves for worms. Makes sense though. Again, they're eating on and around the vegetation breaking down. Just got in from fishing. Okay. Do you have any luck tonight, Ontario? Why don't you go up to the water? I'm sitting next to the camera so I can read the chat. It's really hard. The camera stand that I have right now is actually a golf stand for recording your golf swings, and it's got 2 prongs that stick into the ground. And once you get up to the water here, it's all rock and crap. Every time I come here, I have a really hard time finding somewhere to stab my pole holders and all that. That's why we're sitting a little away from the stream. 9 rudd, 1 white perch. What the heck is a rudd? I've heard of a lot of fish out in Ontario. I have no idea. 9 invasive arid. I'll have to look that up. I have no idea what a rudd is. An invasive fish. How big are they? Oh, we're all tangled. Is that why we weren't catching anything? How the hell did I manage that? Man, I just keep finding more and more creative ways to tangle my line here. There we go. I'm just waiting for the drag on this pole with the cut bait to streaming. So with those Ontario, being as they're invasive, are you allowed to put them back in the water, or are you just, you know, asked to not put them in the water? What do you do with them? Luke Hooper, I'm back, my bro. Welcome back, Luke Hooper. How you doing, buddy? Xavier, where are you from? Central Montana, Xavier. Where are you from? Colby, read my last... Oh, sorry, did I miss something you said? Just got back from the city. Wife and I had a hospital tour. Wife's almost due with our first kid. Oh, geez, man. Congratulations. When's she due? Oh, I missed Cindy coming in too. What's up, Skipjack Cindy? How you doing? Sorry, I didn't see you come in here. Came from Europe, from shipping ports. Biggest one I caught was maybe 13 inches tonight. Huh. Any good to eat? Coyote food. Okay. Quebec, nice muskie. Y'all Canadians have some amazing fish up there. I get jelly. We don't have true muskie here. We have they're a hybrid between a muskie and a northern pike. They're called a tiger muskie. And they're infertile. They're unable to breed. So they're basically a stocked fish. They put them in ponds, lakes, and reservoirs like this to eat up and control the white sucker population that gets out of control. but they get real big. Skipjack Cindy just got fishing. Yeah, as I was driving here, I was flipping through YouTube and I saw you were doing a solo stream here today. Did you have any luck, Cindy? I worked all damn day. I've been jonesing to go fishing. I haven't been out since Sunday. How was today? I just started watching. Luke, we've only been here for a little under 2 hours. We've caught one fish so far, just one pumpkin seed. Our main, oh, there's another fish that just jumped. Our target here today is tiger muskie. That's really what I'm after. We're just kind of dinking around with the bobber rod here while we wait on the tiger muskie to come around, if they do. You saw a huge salmon or steelhead. It didn't bite though. Oh yeah? Your water there is clear enough that you can see pretty good into it. Most of our water around here isn't. Luke Hooper, it's my little brother's birthday. Can you say happy birthday? Happy birthday to Luke Hooper's little brother. K-Rod Fishing, welcome, welcome. We're just chilling. We got one pole in the water here that you guys can't see that's got cut bait on it. That's our tiger muskie pole. We have, it's creek chub or lake chub, I forget which. And then the pole that I'm holding here, we're just dinking around with a bobber and a little chunk of a Nightcrawler tipped on it to see if we can get something. And orange eye avatar guy. I can't read your name, I can't read your writing, but welcome to the stream. Art of Pain says hello, Miss Skipjack. What combo are you using? Remington, this is my kind of go-to for pretty much everything except for trolling, or if I were out in the boat casting big tiger muskie lures, I use these poles for everything. It's an ugly stick carbon, medium light, fast action, 6'10" model. Very light, very durable, very sensitive. You can feel everything. And it's paired with a Piscifun Carbon X2 reel. Again, also very lightweight. The whole combo together weighs less than a pound, which makes an excellent pole when you're casting crankbaits and throwing lures all day. I love them. They're very versatile poles, even though they are extremely lightweight. I am quite comfortable throwing these and catching things, 15, 20 plus pounds, even though it's way over what they're rated for. I've caught enough big fish with these things that I trust them. They're absolutely excellent rod. Lil Rye Once said, it's my birthday too. Well, happy birthday, Lil Rye Runts. Gary Goes, welcome to the stream. Why are you sad, Gary? Squiggly eye, is that two squiggly eye orange icon guys, or is that the same guy? I can't read what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying, but welcome to the stream. Gary, why are you sad? Xavier, do you ever bottom fish? Yeah, no, carp is one of my favorite species to target, which you bottom fish for. Catfish is also another favorite species, which is usually also bottom fished for. White sucker. But yeah, the musky rig that we have out right now is sitting on the bottom. I should have brought a float actually to float one of them up off of the bottom. But this is a shallow enough pond that top water, bottom water, you're only talking a difference of a couple or a few feet. No, it was murky from 24 hours of rain, but that's why I can't tell between salmon or steelhead. All right. Easy close to a 30. Good Lord. That's a big fish, Ontario. Do the size, I think salmon, but the steelhead get big too. You're close enough to the ocean that you actually get true steelhead? I need to look at a map. I feel I'm slightly geographically challenged. Ooh, I think I just missed a bite there. Do you think that fishing in Europe is harder or in the US? VQ, I mean, fishing is fishing. I don't think it really matters where you are in the world. Some days it's easy, some days it's not so easy. Lake Ontario, okay. You speared steelhead in Michigan. Yeah, the Great Lakes, though, there is a pathway from those to the ocean, isn't there? There must be if you guys got steelhead in it. And Cindy, I don't know if I missed your response or not. Did you have any luck on your stream? Lots of suckerfish. Nick Meldrew, 2 in the morning here in UK, eating a bacon roll, enjoying your channel. Oh, that sounds good. Sounds good, Nick. I am starving. We were just talking about bacon earlier. I keep forgetting to bring bacon as bait. They run our creeks to spawn. Man, that's crazy. Big ass fish like that in a creek. Wait, isn't steelhead rainbow trout? Yeah, so Hammy, a steelhead is technically the same thing as a rainbow. The distinction is that they're a sea run rainbow trout. So they spend their life in salt or brackish water, and then they come back to fresh water to spawn. But yeah, it's technically a rainbow trout. They do get bigger, tend to get bigger, and they have slightly different coloring, but it has to do with the fact that they spend most of their time in brackish and salt water instead of fresh. We don't get them here in Montana. We have no path to the ocean. Right there again. Crap just keeps jumping everywhere. Gerald Bradley, welcome to the stream, and thank you for the sub there. Appreciate that. 86 thumbs up. Appreciate that as well. Thank you guys. I'm new to the stream, but I liked and subscribed, by the way. What are you fishing for? Well, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Kaston, we are fishing the target. The true target is tiger muskie. There's a pole over here that I'm kind of obscuring that's got cut bait on it, creek chub. And that we're hoping to get a tiger muskie off of. And then I'm just messing around with a bobber rig here, tipped with Nightcrawler to see what else we can pull out in the meantime. Genetically modified, ours are here in the Great Lakes. Savior says liver. Liver can be pretty good bait for a bunch of stuff. Yeah, liver is really good. It can be tricky to keep on the hook though. There are various different ways that help you keep it on there. The sea trout in Florida are different than Michigan Lake steelhead. In what way, Eric? I know that, like, here in Montana there's a dozen different strains of rainbow trout. Not all rainbow trout are equal. They're all very similar, but they come, they're genetically diversified. They're from different regions around the United States and around the world. But they're all still rainbow trout. Sea trout, nothing like freshwater fish. Well, but a steelhead is a rainbow trout. It's the same thing. But sea trout, I think, is a completely different species of trout. A sea trout is not a rainbow trout. Damn fishing cast net. Kaston, have you ever caught a tiger muskie out of there? I had one on the line last year. I've never actually managed to land one out of here. I come back here a few times a year. It's a pain in the butt to get back here. It's like a 1/4 mile hike through all this dense forest and brush, and you got to climb up the side of a mountain. Use nylon pantyhose to help keep the liver on the hook. I've heard that, Fairlane boy. I've never tried it. But there are tiger muskie in here. They're stocked in here. They've been stocking this pond off and on for the past 10, 12 years. Which means that the ones that are in here at the end of, or towards the end of their life cycle, they could potentially be 40, 50 inch plus in here. But nope, I haven't been lucky enough to get one out yet. I don't know why they call them trout even. Different species, yeah. Are they of the, trout in general are all the different species of trout are part of the salmonoid family. I would assume that maybe sea trout is just another variant, part of that same genus. That's just like a Arctic grayling is a trout, and it looks nothing like a trout. But again, it is part of that family. Katrina, yep. Yeah, steelhead spend the majority of their life apparently in brackish water or salt water. They come back to fresh water to spawn though, to lay their eggs. Have you tried Cooper's Lake between Lincoln and Missoula? I have not. I've seen on Fishbrain a few people post from there. And I think that's one that Arctic grayling are in. I've never tried fishing there though. Could be the same genus, I guess. Almost no color, solid silver. Oh, okay. What species are in the lake you're fishing? All the same fish, the other lake you bank fish? Basically all the same stuff that's in Largemouth Bend Pond number 2 that I stream from quite often. Except for everything in here is bigger than the other pond, plus there's black crappie and tiger muskie in here. So it's basically the pond that I normally fish, but on steroids plus tiger muskie. And almost nobody ever fishes it because it's such a pain in the butt to get back here. Where are you right now? Cased in central Montana. This is called Largemouth Bend Pond number 3. Steelhead are type of androgynous rainbow trout that migrate from freshwater to the ocean and then return to freshwater to spawn. I googled it. Yep, that's exactly right. So clear it's uncanny. You can see so far down. Sea trout is spotted. Yeah, somebody else was talking about Cooper's Lake here recently. I forget what the hell they were telling me about it though. No, there are so many beautiful lakes around Missoula. That is like some of the most pristine waters in Montana. Someday I'd like to buy some property over that way. Use a spinner for the muskie. Yeah, we may throw a spinner here in a little bit. We have cut bait on this line. We threw the Bandit 100 crank. We tried a Rip and Wrap and Fire Tiger, and then I also tried a Rebel Craw. So we tried three different crankbaits for a little while. We're taking a break so I could chat for a little while, and I just have a bobber rig on right now, dinking around to see what else we can pull out. But I did bring a handful of spinners, inline spinners. I have a couple of Crappie Manjig spinners. What is XP for the stream? I don't know what you mean, Katrina. Nothing like a stocked pond. Second minute, right? Yeah, this pond is a stocked pond. Fish Wild Park calls it their secret pond. Apparently they stock a bunch of crap here, like black crappie and tiger muskie, and then they come back and either gill net or electro fish them, pull them back out, and then they use it to stock other water bodies around here. So they kind of use it as a big breeding pool. With the XP, generally the higher it is, the less friends you have in real life. Is that so okay? Hammy, do you ever fish for speckled trout? I don't know if we have speckled trout here. I don't think we do. Blue Robertson, welcome to the stream. If you get a chance to go, it is nice. Yeah, so we went last year in that general area. We went over to Salmon Lake, which is a little bit before Missoula, and then you turn north. There's like Elbow Lake, Salmon Lake, and then I don't know, there's like 6 or 7 lakes in a row. Cooper's Lake, I think, might be right in that general area, actually. I'll have to check it out, though. Scratch Off Mania said hi. Welcome to the stream, Scratch. It puts a purple crown next to your name. Oh, that's for individual users. So that's the top chatters feature. Where the hell did my bobber go? There it it is. Why would, it was underwater, but there was nothing on it? You're slacking, bobber. Must have snagged a weed or something. But no, that's top chatters. The more you chat in the stream, your experience goes up. That's not stream experience. That's just, it's ranking user engagement in the stream. So the more you chat, the more you hit the little heart button, the more you like, etc., your experience goes up. And like right now, Katrina, you have the #1, you have the crown, you have the most, you're the top chatter right now. Patea the First said hi. Welcome to the stream, Patea. 9 Nixon Skull, Salmon, Placid, Sealy, Alva, and then Inez. Okay. All right, we got somebody here that's either looking at a map or is from Montana. It is actually Elbow, then Salmon, then Placid. But yeah, Placid and Sealy. Alva, the Inez. They call it like the Clearwater Lakes or something like that. And they're all absolutely gorgeous. 9, are you from Montana or are you just looking at a map? James Slaver says, see you later, Rod. It's 3 a.m. and I'm so tired. Best of luck. All right, thanks for swinging through, James. Always a pleasure to chat with you. We'll see you on the next one, buddy. Get some rest. Sigma Daddy says hi. Welcome to the stream, Sigma. Joshua Polance. Chatty Cathy, right? Pinworm is #2. How you doing, Sigma? Patea, what's up, bro? What are you fishing for? Our main target is tiger muskie. We'll take anything that wants to bite, though. The pole sitting over here with the cut bait is, I'm hoping we can maybe get a tiger muskie out of here. It's been, I think we're getting nibbles on it. So we have in here little bait, they're little tiny catfish called yellow bullheads and black bullheads. And I have seen some little nibbles at it since it's been in the water, but I think that's just the bullhead pecking at it. We have, you know, good sized chunks of creek chub on some really big hooks. But in the meantime, we're just dinking around with a bobber and tip of a Nightcrawler, seeing if we can get anything else to bite. And I should set this bobber a little higher on the line so we can fish deeper. Nine says, yep, in Arley. Okay, right on. Well, welcome, fellow Montanan. We're over here near Great Falls, near Vaughan. You have any swim baits? A nice size one. Muskie will chomp. If it was a muskie, I would. I do have, I didn't bring anything huge with me today. Next time I come here, I need to pack lighter. I got 2 backpacks full of crap and my Starlink Mini. We're fishing off the, I don't know if you guys can see. We're at the Starlink Mini here. And then all my other gear. I packed way too much crap today. So I didn't bring a bunch of larger lures. I came here with the intent of fishing for the muskie with the cut bait today. I've been here, you know, a few dozen times over the last couple of years, and I've fished big baits, little baits. The only thing I managed to get a muskie on the line with was a frick jig and a creature plastic on the end of it. We only had it on for a couple of cranks, but I pulled it back in and it was, you know, just the nub of what was left of the creature bait. It bit it off. But yeah, swim baits, I do have a bunch of big ones that I would normally fish muskie with if I were in the boat or if I had carried more gear here today. I'm in hot pursuit, said Eric. Sigma Daddy, yo, what's your PB? So I've never actually caught a tiger muskie before. I normally pike is what I go after. The biggest pike that I've managed to land was 22.5 pounds, 42 inches. So a pretty good sized one, but there are there's 40 to 50 inch tiger muskie that are lurking in this little pond here. Ooh. Damn it, I missed it. If we can get them to come out and play, that is. Just cracked a beer. Right on, Ugly Casanova. Drink one for me. Ray Weirick said hi. Welcome to the stream, Ray. 9. I was watching a couple of weeks ago and wanted to say I'll trade a flathead area secret spot trip for your knowledge of Pishkin. All right, man. I'm down. Yeah, flathead. I've never fished flathead before, but I've been dying to go out there. I want to catch lake trout. But yeah, Pishkin I fish constantly. I can tell you anything you want to know about Pishkin 9. Hit that sub button and or leave a comment on one of my videos, and we could chat. Or you could look up, I got an email address on my profile, or if you can remember it, it's just my channel name, wannaseemyrod@gmail.com. Or if you happen to use Fishbrain, you can find me on there at Vox, V-O-X. Yeah, hit me up. I'd love to chat about flathead, and I can give you the down low on Pishkin. Pishkin's a fun lake to fish. It is absolutely loaded with pike in there. There's not a whole lot of big ones in there. There's some big ones, but it's one of the few places here in central Montana that you can go and quite easily limit out on pike if you want to. I usually pull 10 to 20 out of there every time I go. Ray Rick, welcome to the stream. Oh, Scratch Off Mania, welcome. Sergio, how you doing, Sergio? Scratch, Ray, how you guys doing? Patea the First, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that, Patea, thank you. Glad you're enjoying the stream. I caught 5 bluegill and 2 trout yesterday. Nice. Do you get a decent sized bluegill there? Our bluegill, like, 5-6 inches, and that's it. They're all itty bitties. Annie Inch, you were in my dream last night. You're the man that raped me. Uh-oh. That sounds like a nightmare, Annie, not a dream. Stop into kids' dreams. Sorry, my friend. I don't have the capability of joining anybody's dreams. It's a little weird to say to somebody online. Ashton Witham, watching while waiting to go into the desert at Fort Irwin for training. Oh, that doesn't sound fun. You should be fishing instead, my friend. Good night, Munchie. Lake trout overrated. Maybe they are, but I've never caught one, and they get to be quite sizable in here in Montana. You know, 20, 30 pounds. They're good sized. And I get mixed opinions. Some people say they're absolutely wonderful to eat, and other people tell me they're disgusting. Don't do it. Eric, welcome to the Rod Squad, my friend. Appreciate you joining the old Rod Squad. Try fishing Maine for muskie. You won't regret. Yeah, there's a lot of states that have that. I'm jealous. They get the nice big muskie. We don't get muskie here. We get good sized pike, but not the muskie. And then we get the hybridization, the tiger muskie, which is a hybrid between a pike and a muskie, which is what's in this pond. One of these days I'll make it to Maine or Wisconsin, or one of them places that gets good, nice muskies. Like reeling a sack of potatoes. Is it really, Munchie? Sounds good, will do. Just found your fish brain too. All right, Non, yeah, hit me up, let's chat. Oop. I keep missing these bites. ANJ Fishing, welcome. Where is it? We're at Largemouth Bend Pond number 3 right now. It's just outside of Vaughan, Montana. Dollar make you holla, right, Eric? I appreciate it. All y'all that are hitting the thumbs up and subbing to the channel and becoming members of the channel. That's awesome. It's a fairly new channel. We've been running the channel for a little under 3 months now. Streaming for about 6 weeks. No, we haven't pulled any tiger musk yet. We caught one little pumpkin seed so far. Marilyn Hannon, can I go fishing if you want? Where are you from, Marilyn? If you're from around here, yeah, you can come fishing with me. Kings and Pinks are running in Puget Sound and Washington. If you came, make it over within the next week. Absolutely blowing up buzz bombs. Oh, I wish I could make it over there. I won't be doing any traveling to fish outside of Montana until probably next year. Appreciate the offer though, and the tip. Maryland, bro, yes, I've got big muskie before, like 60s, bro. I bet I could out. I was asking the YouTuber. Oh. Yeah, no, I've never actually caught a tiger muskie. We have them here in this pond, and then the next closest place is about 120 miles from here. I'm gonna fish it a few times a year. Last year I had one. I had it right up to the boat. Looked like it was about 30 inches or so. Ooh, there we go. What do we get? Well, dang, is that all we're gonna get today is pumpkin seed? This one at least didn't swallow it. Oh, damn it. Toss her in the dirt. Hold on. There we go. Fishing up in the dirt again. God, why are these little ones so damn hard to hold on to? Trying not to squish them. They're so pretty. But yeah, so it's like a bluegill, but they have that little orange speck on the black dot. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. It's better on that side. They're of the sunfish family, so just like a bluegill or I don't know. There's like a dozen of these that look so familiar. Really cute little fish, though. All right. Logan Lenars said hi. Welcome to the stream, Logan. Where's the pond at? My friend caught a 54-inch muskie near you, or maybe at the same place. Oh yeah, A&J? Yeah, there's monsters back here. If you're talking about near Vaughn, this is the only place around here that's got tiger muskie. You should get a van and a fishing kayak and do travel video channel. I have a hearse that I could maybe fit a kayak in. I don't have a van though. No, I have a boat though. We have the 16-foot John boat. You wouldn't catch my ass in a kayak though. I don't swim well. I don't like getting wet. Even my 16-foot John boat is almost a little bit too small. I'd like to get a bigger boat. But yeah, once I retire, that's the plan. I should have the funds and the ability to pretty much do whatever I want. And yeah, I would like to start traveling, hit up all the places in Montana that I've always wanted to fish, and I'm kind of gonna expand out from there. Do some other places in the US, maybe Canada, and at some point do some fishing around the world. Those fish are good eating. They probably are if they were, more than that big. You wouldn't even get you'd get like a bite off of each one. Marilyn Hannon, or do you do it every single day? Because I'd like to go pike fishing. I fish usually at least 2 to 3 times a week. If the weather's good and I don't, have a overabundance of work, I fish almost every day. Are you from Montana, Maryland? Catfishy. Hey man, how's it going, Rod? Welcome to the stream, Catfishy. I'm doing absolutely wonderful. We're out here fishing. The weather's beautiful. Really, I can't complain. I'm loving it. I'm living my best life right now. How you doing, Catfishy? Marilyn Hannon, appreciate the sub there. Everybody like and subscribe. This guy is awesome. Thank you, Marilyn. I appreciate you saying that. Catfishy, how long you been fishing today? A little over 2 hours, Catfishy. I had to work today. So once I finished up with work and waited for the kiddo to get home from school, I dropped him off over at my mom's house, and she's watching him for a little bit. And we are fishing. A hearse for a car, sweet. Yeah, I bought it years ago. It's a 1975 Olds 98 Cotner Bevington hearse. They're such neat old cars. The hearses from that era, they often were used as combo cars. So a lot of smaller, town cities, they didn't have the funds to maintain ambulances and hearses, so they built the hearses to act as ambulances as well. So when they weren't hauling dead bodies, they were hauling people to the hospital. But because of that, they built them out as very fast cars. So this one's got like a 455 rocket, big block in it. And it's one of the only cars I've ever owned that would just cruise down the highway at 120 miles an hour comfortably, and it just feels like a cloud floating down. Really good gas mileage, surprisingly, in it too. But low miles, garage kept its entire life. I mean, they're neat cars. A&J, yeah, I was near Vaughn. It's right where I'm fishing, A&J. What kind of fish have you ever? Oh, I fish for everything, Marilyn. Anything that's in the water here in Montana. My favorite to fish for is pike, though. Pike, catfish, carp. I go trout fishing sometimes. We fish for sturgeon a couple of times a year. Like right now, I mean, we're catching bass and crappie and bluegill, pumpkinseed. I'm not too picky. My favorite, though, is pike. Come to Ontario, we have best fishing. Yeah, one of these days I'll make it over that way. I watch Outfish Ontario stream all the time, and he catches some really nice fish over there. I'd love to. Marilyn, GG07, welcome to the stream. Oh, dude, the best way to pike fish is just like yank it a tiny bit, jiggy, and then right when it bites. Oh yeah, usually I catch quite a few pike. There's no pike in here though, just tiger muskie. Tiger muskie, largemouth bass, carp, yellow perch, white sucker, black crappie. I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff. Yellow bullhead, black bullhead. I know you're warmer than us in Illinois. Yeah, it's still pretty warm here. I'm not looking forward to it starting to get cold again. GG, yeah, pike is my favorite to catch. Josie, update that pin message to yellow belly bait nabbers. I think Josie went to go work in her garden for a little bit. A yellow crank wouldn't saw black yellow crankbait. Black and yellow mask would love it. You're basically like a Ghostbuster. Kinda, yeah. No, I love the hearses. My buddy's got one too. He's got a 74 Olds 98, so 1 year older than mine. And then we also, when we were, I don't know, we were like early 20s, we traded a dollar and a case of beer for a 1947 Cadillac hearse. Big old rust bucket missing its motor and tranny. But it's a scary old car. It is so neat. So we actually have 3 hearses between us. Are you gonna eat them? GG, no, the fish that we've caught here today, we just let go. They're too small. Fish buster. Maryland, pike are really fun to fish for. Got salmon there. Yeah, we have, in here in Montana, we have coho salmon, Chinook salmon, and kokanee salmon. I've only ever caught the kokanee, though. I've never caught a Chinook or a coho. What's the speed limit in Montana? 80 on most of the freeways. Sometimes it's 70 or 65, depending on where you're at. When I was a teen, though, right after I first started driving, we had a period of, I think, almost 2 years where Montana repealed the speed limit law. We had no speed limit in the state of Montana. The law was you had to travel at a speed that was safe and prudent. Whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. But we ended up, the highway fatality of Montana in-state residents dropped dramatically once they removed the speed limit. But the highway fatality rate of out-of-staters that were coming here and trying to, you know, hot rod around went through the roof. So it lasted 2 years, and they put the speed limit back in place because too many out-of-staters were coming here and offing themselves. Oh, somebody's shooting guns. Nope. So you've heard of the prudent and reasonable? No, that was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. How did you know about that? That's a long time ago, Eric. Have you been through Montana? You should look at your line. It's going fast. I think you're talking shit. I don't see it moving. What are you talking about? David Rowe, welcome back to the stream. How you doing, David? CJ, how you doing? Man, wait until you hook into a king Chinook, brother. Better have 150 to 200 yards of line on. Oh, yeah? Those get really big, though, don't they? Catfishy? 9, safe and prudent in my 87 4Runner is 52 miles an hour. No, I was driving, I was just a teen at that time. That's when I was driving 1978 Oldsmobile, no, yeah, 1978 Oldsmobile 88, baby blue, just a big old baby blue boat. My mom had picked it up from the job that she worked at. She worked at a car lot, and they got it in as a trade-in, and they were going to send it to auction, so she bought it for like 200 bucks. But man, that car, it drove comfortably 100 miles an hour all day, every day. So that's what I was driving when the speed limit was like that. 852. Yeah, I'm 50. All right, so you're a little older than I am, Eric. Before the no speed limit wasn't fine, only $5. I can't remember. That was a long time ago. Square Body Chevy. What's up, Square Body? Maryland. All Stars is just 7, like 10 miles an hour. Middle school buddy took me camping up there 1989, maybe. All right. Yeah, I was just a youngin'. That was way before the safe and prudent law, though. Again, it was only like 2 years, I think, and I was probably 16, 17. So that'd have been more like 98, 2000-ish. Yeah, you got to target Chinook. Chinook, best fighting fish I've ever got. My biggest, close to 20 pounds, 15 to 20 minutes. Right on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're anywhere here in central Montana. I think you got to go to western Montana. Western or eastern Montana. Here in central Montana, we have the channel. No, Kokanee. Mirror Lake was on top of some mountain outside of Billings. Sounds familiar to me. I've never been there, though. Them moonshine lures I was telling you about, Kill the Kings. Yeah, I got that. I had ordered some a while back. I got those and a handful of others, the UV. That's what you use on the Kings, huh? Yeah, I bought a whole bunch. In fact, I didn't buy them for trout or salmon fish. They have like a billion different names. But yeah, those were highly recommended as well for the for ling. Marilyn Hannon, what's your favorite color? My favorite color is the lack of color, black, the absence of color. Better have good drag system on your reels. They'll definitely destroy a cheap reel. Yeah, I would, if I were fishing for those, I would probably be from my boat, and it would be on my my Okuma rods, my leaded rods. And those, the 3000 series have an excellent drag system on them. Seems like it was south and west up a mountain man-made, 10 feet deep, trout. Yeah, that sounds about right, Eric. Moonshine and the Cast Masters are great. Slow roll them on the bottom. Okay, I'll have to remember that. Square body Chevy, do you have a soft plastic on you? Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them in my bag. That's last year when I had a muskie on the line here. That's what I was using, just a jig head and oh god, what was I running? Some kind of creature bait. Got bit off on it. How old is kiddo, and will he be fishing nut like his old man? He's 9 now. He'll be 10 next month. And now he puts up with it. He comes to fish with me for a little while. He's over it after, you know, a half hour, an hour, and he's off to looking for treasures. He likes looking for fossils and shiny shit. He finds me so many lures and sinkers, and God, those birds are so loud. No, I wish I could get him to enjoy fishing like I do. Every once in a while, like if I get him on the bluegill, he'll sit there for hours pulling the bluegill out. But the first time his line tangles, he's over it. He just doesn't have patience for anything. Yeah, Akuma or Daiwa, I use the ballistic series reels. Yeah, I have the Akuma cold water on all my trolling gear. I really like them. If you have soft plastic, tie on a wacky rig. We could wacky rig in a little bit. Let me catch one more fish off the bobber and maybe we can switch over to a wacky rig for a bit. I do the bobber fishing because it's one, it's effective, and two, it allows me to fish while actually paying attention to the chat here. When I'm casting, it gets, I either, you know, ignore chat and people leave, or I don't catch anything. I think they have stocked Chinook in one of the South Dakota, Missouri River reservoirs. What do you, SD? You mean South Dakota? I know we have Chinook here in Montana as well as coho. Around here, I'm pretty sure most of it is all the kokanee. Kokanee they stock everywhere around here. The Daiwa North Coast is a solid casting rod for kings. Yeah, I've never really fished with a lot of Daiwa gear. Bass are stupid. They hit on anything, especially old. They trust the old Senko. Yeah, I've caught quite a few largemouth over at the other pond number 2, with Senkos. The two things that I'd really like to catch out of here is fat black crappie that I know are in here, and the tiger muskie. I should have set up, there's 2 islands over here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. There's like 2 islands, which it's super shallow in between the shore and the islands, but there's a pocket right between those 2 that gets deep. And I was thinking about setting up there, but right where we're at, this pole behind me that's got the cut bait on it, we're set up either in or right next to where the deepest part of this pond is. And with how shallow this pond is and how warm the water is, I assumed that the bigger muskie would probably be lurking in the old hole here, but I have no idea. David, yeah, South Dakota, Oahe Reservoir, catch them by dam and pier. Okay. I had Akuma, smooth spring, inside let go, fixed it once, came off again, too small to fix, didn't last long whatsoever. Oh, dang. Yeah, I fished with the cold water series, the line counter reels. They're rigged all with leaded line. I don't cast them. They're my trolling poles. I wasn't a Daiwa fan until I started salmon fishing. Now I can't get away from them. 2 more months, the Kings will be pulling into the harbor here in Chicago. Oh man, I'm jealous. That sounds so fun. They have them in Sacagawea too. Matthew Sporl, what's up, Matt? Been a while. How you doing, buddy? Oh God, the water it turned to glass, and that fucking sun is just glaring off the water over there. I'm getting like tan from the burnt from the top from the actual sun, and then the reflection is like hitting me from below. Need to switch directions here so I can get evenly burnt. It's a rough netted casting, I'll tell you, but well worth it when you hook into one. Oh, I bet catfishy. I picked up a few sweet reels in Florida yard sales, 10 bucks each. Heck yeah, that's a steal, Eric. Your arms will be dead casting for muskie. Yeah, lobbing them big old lures around, it's tough for me. I got neck issues, shoulder issues, back issues from between snowboard. Ooh, what is this? Dang, he was a fighter. Well, we got our first bass. He came over and I just like loosely gripped the pole and this little guy almost pulled the pole out of my hand. Hold on. He got this hook pretty deep. Oh. All right. He swam by and snagged it. You can also float for kings with spawn sacks about 1 to 2 foot off the bottom. Huh. I think that's a 14-pound bass. Yeah, definitely. At least 14 pounds. I don't know, we might have to bust out the scale for this one. There we go. He's just a little guy. Alrighty, let's get him back in the water.
Motion detected in the side yard.
Alright, that's fish number 3. Leave it on, use it for bait. I wish I could, Michael White. That's highly illegal here in central Montana, unfortunately. Josie, welcome back. Eric said BRB. All right, Eric. Just talking about kings. I want to go downtown and cast. Oh, I know. That's how I was today. I worked all day and I was watching a few different fishing streams. I haven't been fishing since Sunday, which feels like an eternity for me. And Flash hit me up on FishBrain and was like, yo, I'm going to go down there to the pond and see if we can get a tiger muskie to bite. I was like, that sounds amazing. I'm in. So here we are. He left already. I don't know where the hell he went. I think they went back over to the other pond to fish, the main pond 2. What did you get while I was gone? 1 more pumpkin seed. So we're at 2 pumpkin seed, 1 largemouth bass. Andrew, welcome. We are fishing for the target today. Truly is tiger muskie. That's what the pole over here. We have cut bait on it. And while we're waiting on something to hit on that, we're fishing just a bobber rig, a micro hook tipped with Nightcrawler, seeing what else we can get. What's Fish Brain? At Vox, V-O-X. Okay, says, I want to show my rod on camera. Get yourself a channel, bust it out, my friend. Catfishy, the bait, in fact, it's dot baits. I think I have that one set to mods only currently. I need to update that.
Motion detected in the side yard.
Josie, you want to type dot baits? Catfishy was trying to, maybe I opened it up. No, I think I must still have that one as, yeah, see if it works for Josie. Or are you using a Carolina rig? No, so the pole that we have cut bait on is using a high-low rig. And then the pole that I'm holding right here, we're just using a basic bobber rig, tipped with Nightcrawler. Ooh, I was a bite on the hell was that? Something's nibbling. Come on, Muskie. Come on, buddy. That was an awfully small bite for a muskie, but maybe he's just mouthing it. Oh God, my heart started thump, 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 thump. I want a tiger muskie so bad. I have a feeling this is catfish, though. I think one of the little bullheads found our cut bait and is picking at it. Good God, and I gave myself a line cut setting the hook there. Fucking braid is sharp. Damn it. Alright, I was definitely not. We'll keep an eye on that, though. Let me just, I don't know how many of them nibbles we've had, but I'm gonna throw a bell on here just for the hell of it. God, I got excited. There you go. That's what Catfishy was trying to. So those in central Montana, those are the only baits that we can use as cut bait. And there are a couple water bodies in central Montana that do allow live bait, but again, it's only those. Cut finger, chum the water. Yeah, it just nicked me on my knuckle when I tried to set the hook. Zip me. God, I got so excited. I thought we might actually have a muskie. That's cool. I live in South, so I don't know. I think there's muskie where I live. Oh, Andrew, right on. Yeah, so we don't have they're not muskie, they're tiger muskie. So a tiger muskie is a hybridized version, a hybrid of a muskie and a northern pike. They breed them together and they make a tiger muskie. But they're infertile, they're sterile, they're not able to reproduce. They get about the size of a muskie, and they're absolutely beautiful. And the ones that are in this pond, they've been stocking this pond for 10, 12 years. So the initial batch that they've put in here, 10, 12 years ago, is full adult. They're towards the later stage of the life cycle. And they are potentially, 50 plus inch. They could be massive in here. And that's why I come back here to fish. I don't come back here very often because it's an absolute nightmare. You got to walk through the dense trees, and there's brush and a bunch of thistles and a bunch of crap, and you got to wade across a river. So it's a pain in the butt to get in here, which is why almost nobody fishes back here. A lot of people don't even know this pond exists. But one of these days, I'm gonna get into one of these. And I'm gonna pull a monster out of here, I swear. And today feels like it could be the day. It really does. We got about Maybe an hour or so of fishing here until the sun starts going down. So we don't have a whole lot longer here, unfortunately. One of these days I need to come here and spend all day here. Yeah, Vox, V-O-X. You can find me on FishBrain. I'm more aggressive than a standard muskie. Are they? Yeah, I mean, to me, they're like a bigger, pissed off looking northern pike. They get bigger teeth, more vibrant colors. Something just surfaced over there. In fact, shit's starting to surface all over the place. Right now would be perfect for topwater. Need a very large lure, muskrat or something. Yeah, I didn't really bring big enough poles to be lobbing heavy lures out there. I'm using, my medium light fast action. That's usually one of the only times I move away from these poles is when I start throwing, my 10, 12 inch swim baits and paddle tails and but I came back here today with the intent of fishing for them with my cut bait, and I don't need the big old poles for that. Blue gauges for me. The sun has already set in western New York. Oh yeah, right now most of the west coast the sun's probably setting too. We get about anywhere from a half an hour to an hour longer of daylight here in the elevation in Montana than most of the western states, even on the coast, get. Absolute gorgeous fish, the tiger muskie. They really are catfishy. They're incredible looking. Timotai, welcome to the stream. Josie, Central Montana catches are pinned below. Thank you, Josie. You're always so helpful, Josie. Thank you. Buy a radio control mini boat for setting out the bait. Eric, I've been thinking about that. In fact, what I want to do is not just use it to set out the bait. I want to rig, I have a little portable fish finder that's a castable fish finder that you can connect to with the app, and it Bluetooths to it, so it's got about 100 to 150 foot radius. And then from the back of the jet boat, I want to hook an actual lure. I basically want to troll with my little mini boat. I don't know if it's legal or not. I still need to check with Fish, Wildlife, and Park. But that's the goal. One of these days is I want to rig up and do like little mini trolling sessions with an RC boat. Or a drone, but a boat would be awesome. Timotai, I'm from Romania. It's 5 a.m. Well, welcome to the stream from Romania. We're in central Montana in America. I'm already following you. Catfish says, square body Chevy, you won't be disappointed. Wait until Rod goes on another fishing marathon. Yeah, that's how I typically fish, unless it's a day like today where I had to work. Sunday, we got out on the water at 6 a.m. and we put the boat in at 9 p.m.-ish. So, I mean, it was 15 hours of fishing. And that's how I typically fish. I get out on the water, as soon as the sun's cracking over the horizon, and I stay until I can't see my hand in front of my face. And oftentimes I stay past then too. We'll fish from the dock sometimes for a few hours after I pull the boat in. Linus, welcome to the stream. What's your biggest fish? The biggest fish that I've actually landed, measured, taken a picture of is a 22.5 pound, 42 inch northern pike. I've caught bigger fish than that, just didn't get them in the net. Last year I estimated it was probably a 50 pound carp right at the bank, which would have been a new state record here in Montana. But it didn't fit in my net. In fact, I'm using the net today that I was using then, and it was too big around. It was like a propane tank. and it simply did not fit in the net. And while I was struggling and determining that it did not fit in the net, she warbled and busted off, and off she went. Huge fat carp. I've caught a couple of fish like that over the years, though, that were absolute monsters, way bigger than the pike that I landed. But they either broke me off, or I just, for whatever reason, couldn't get them landed. David says, I have the eye bobber sonar and its range is disappointing. Yeah, I don't think I got the eye bobber. I got a different model. And I've never really tested the range on it, but it says it was supposed to be like 150 or 200 feet. I'd have to bust it out. It's in my boat right now. I don't think fish scare as easy as people believe. I snorkel with them. Eric, I'm of the same belief. I think there are some species that are more skittish than others, but by and large, most fish aren't nearly as line shy or scared of boats, swimmers, etc. In fact, I mean, fish like muskie, pike, tiger muskies, they're, top of the food chain in freshwater systems. When they hear a commotion in the water, they go to it because that's the dinner bell for them. They're trying to see what their next meal is going to be. They don't run away from noise. El Dabo, holy hell, long hot day today. Welcome back, El Dabo. A little bit roasty toasty over there, huh? It's warm here today. It's cooled down quite a bit, but that sun, it's not over the horizon yet, and the water is like glass right now, and I'm getting absolutely fried from it. Catfishing, you ever use slip floats? I have. I use them for catfishing usually. In fact, I have one in my tackle box. I was gonna maybe try it out today. We don't have a whole lot of time left. At 9 o'clock, I need to start packing up and getting out of here because it's gonna be dark. And there's, about a quarter of a mile hike from here. It takes about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get from here back to my truck with all this shit I'm carrying. But yeah, slip float, when cut baiting, it's actually a really good method. I use it for catfishing all the time. I haven't tried it here yet. This is actually the first time I've come back here with cut bait in general. The last 3 years that I've fished here, I've thrown every lure under the goddamn sun back here. And I've decided that they apparently don't want any of that. I'm trying to present them with some different cut bait options. So today we're doing creek chub. Next time I come here, I'm probably going to bring creek chub and white sucker. Bass catcher, welcome to the stream. Eric, dog would swim and stir up silt. Fish would come in and feed. Yeah, they're goddamn elusive muskie, eh? Ah, yeah, El Dabo, they're not cooperating yet today. If there was a muskrat swimming out there, he'd have a bad day. We got a lot in the other pond number 2 across the river. There's a lot of muskrats. But now that you mention that, I haven't seen them back here. There are beavers, some big fat beavers, but I haven't seen muskrats back here. Lots of turtles, lots of snakes. Jason Prado, do you ever use bait casters? If so, what brand? Jason, I've never gotten into bait casters. I use spinner reels. So I don't really have any good recommendation for bait casters for you, buddy. Sorry. Only fish I believe are lionshire, or coho, and steelhead. Yeah, I would imagine there are some species that are going to be more lion shy than others. But I don't know, man. Like, after I started running that water wolf and seeing, the kokanee salmon, I was running a 8 or a 9-inch. I forget who makes it, but a big rubber with a curly tail with treble hooks, and man, I had rainbow trout following it, kokanee salmon following it. Everything comes to check it out. Yeah, they're not nearly as afraid of things as people think they are. Oh yeah, I did a bathroom renovation. Thank God they had AC. Oh, right on. So are you just like contractor El Dabo, or you do tile, flooring? Product Shade said hi. Hey, did you get any? No tiger muskie as of yet. We have had one bite on the cut bait that's sitting out here. And while we've been waiting on that, I've just been playing around with just a bobber and a small segment of a Nightcrawler. We've got 2 pumpkinseed and 1 largemouth bass. Had a muskrat come up through one of my ice holes one day, talk about crap in your pants. Yeah, usually things don't come out of the holes, they go in the holes. That'd be definitely unexpected. Julian Garcia, nope, no boat today, nice. Yeah, Julian, we fish, I fish from the bank, I fish from the boat. We do lake fishing, pond fishing, river fishing, stream fishing. We fish it all on this channel. 2 to 3 times a week we stream, and you'll never know where I'm gonna go live next. Now that I got the Starlink Mini, we're gonna be going all sorts of different places. This is the first time I've streamed from here because there is no signal. So again, we're running the Starlink Mini over here now on the stream, which allows me to take you guys pretty much anywhere. So if you guys like live fishing streams and you want to see some of the more remote and cool fishing spots here in Montana, hit that sub button, come back and fish with us. Oh shit. Hold on. Rod, where'd your rod go? It's right here. I cast on the other side of the cut bait over here. We've been fishing this side. I keep seeing fish jump over here, so I'm holding it the other direction. Oh, Dubbo. Lake trout and rainbow tend to be pretty timid, especially rainbows in the winter. Other than that, I'm always blasting music. All right. Roofs mostly, but the odd interior job here and there. Oh, okay. That's right. I remember you saying you were working on a roof. So you kind of do a little bit of everything, huh? First time I went ice fishing, my buddy just drove his F-150 onto the lake. I was freaking out. Yeah, here in Montana, depending on the water body and, you know, the winter that we have, a lot of people drive their rigs out on the water. I don't think I'd be doing that. I'm, you know, even a little uneasy walking on the ice usually. But man, people don't care. They'll drive their 3/4 ton out onto the water, and it's like, good God, man. You're quite the gambler there. What's up, Grumpy Bass? How you doing, buddy? Julian Garcia, I got the same rod holders. Yeah, they're just the cheapo generic ones. I need to get some better ones. I do have some better ones. These are just I guess the lightest and the easiest to carry around. I have so much crap with me. Grab one of those crickets and send them swimming. I keep seeing these fat grasshoppers walk by, and I'm contemplating dropping one into the water here. Oh God, that was big. Where was that? I heard a kerplunk. That was not a splash, it was a kerplunk. I can't fucking see with the glare. Man, I need to spend more time back here. I need to figure this pond out. I really want to catch a muskie out of here. 10:08 in Ontario. Yeah, so it's 8 o'clock here. Got to bring the binoculars, right? In fact, that's a good Thank you for the reminder. I've been telling myself for the last 2 years, every time I get on the damn boat, I'm out and I'm like, I see somebody, it looks like they're catching a fish. I'm like, damn, I wish I had a pair of binoculars on the boat. And I keep telling myself I need a pair of boat binoculars. And they'd go, I could fit them in my bag, so I just need a pair of fishing binoculars. But yeah, it'd be nice to be able to spy on other people out on the lakes or the rivers when they're catching shit, so I can see what they're catching and how they're catching them. You only need 1.5 inches of ice to be safe. Man, that sounds like so little ice. Is it really that? That's all you need to drive a truck onto it? I don't know, that seems so sketch to me. I love catching perch through the ice. Yeah, my buddy, they normally fish for pike through the ice, but I mean, I imagine you can catch almost anything. Jacob, right now we just have cut bait line in the water here. We're running a high-low rig right there with lake chub or creek chub, I forget which it is. And then while we're waiting on that, I've thrown a couple of crankbaits, rattle trap. It's tough for me to interact with the stream and keep up with chat and actively cast, so we're just bottom fishing right now. And then this rig that I have, we're set up with just a bobber and a Nightcrawler. We're seeing what else we can catch while we wait on the muskies. Large tires handle the terrain. Helldiver, hey, is that a shrub? I'm not sure what a shrub is, Helldriver. Nah, this is just a cigarette, buddy. Just a cigarette. Yep, I use my binoculars often, see all kinds of wildlife and unknown objects on the lake. Yeah, I just need to pick up a cheap pair. I used to have one. I don't know what, I left them at my buddy's house. I don't know what he did with them. Not a truck, but to walk. Okay, so 1.5 inches is safe to walk on. What do you need to drive a truck on it? We had 5 inches of ice to drive on, 1.5 to walk on. I'd go snowmobile, be riding on 2. Okay, so 1.5 to walk, 5 for a truck. Interesting. I meant to say a stub. Oh, okay. Yeah, nope, just a cigarette, buddy. Appreciate those likes, guys. Let's go. 116 likes already. Yeah, we have, so I was gonna get out of here at about 9. I just got a text that I have to go pick me up for work at 9:30. So I'm just trying to think. If I get out of here, it's a 15-minute drive from where I'm parked. And it's gonna take 20 minutes-ish to walk back to the truck. So I gotta start packing up at 8:50. So we got about 35 more minutes. Somebody wheel a fat muskie onto the end of the line here for me, please. Watch out for open water on icy rivers, though. Yeah, the rivers don't form the ices as evenly as the lakes. I think you're right with that. I go on the ice with 12 inches. Too many people die around here being on. Yeah, El Davo, that's a very good point. I'd rather not. What was that? I'd rather not die through the ice. That sounds like a dumb way to die. I do think we get really cold winters here, so I don't think ice depth would be that much of a problem. All right, we're adjusting the bobber length so we get a little bit more depth here. Oh, and I just cast it right into the glare of the sun. Perfect. We're gonna burn our eyeballs checking for bites. How big were the pumpkin seeds? 5 inches. Not very big bass fishing TV. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Maybe you and I can smoke sometime. Helldiver, where are you from, buddy? Hans, welcome to the stream. How you doing, Hans? 12 inches for a truck. All right, Eldouble, I'll keep that in mind. Well, I ain't driving my truck on the. I don't care how many inches to drive a truck on, honestly, because my truck ain't going on the ice. But I think my buddies do drive theirs on, so I'll keep that in mind. Stinky, how many muskie have you caught in your life, man? Stinky, I've never actually managed to land one. I had one on my line last year right next to the boat, almost in the net. I went to scoop it with the net and got the treble hook stuck on the outside of the net, and trying to either flip the net or get the hook off. I tried both. He ended up shaking his head and getting off. I had one on the line last year here when I fished, but it was only for a few cranks. I pulled in and he had bit off the rubber, the creature bait that I was using. So I've never actually landed a tiger muskie. I normally fish for northern pike here, which I've caught hundreds of, but never a tiger muskie. We're trying for my first tiger muskie right now. PA Sportsman said, come on, muskie. That's what I'm talking about. We had one bite on it earlier, but it looked more like a catfish bite than a muskie bite. Munchie said, I've gone through the ice a few times, never killed me. Oh God, that's scary, Munchie. I've fallen waist deep cold, but yeah, God. Yeah, that sounds like the opposite of fun to me, guys. No thanks. Walking, Ski-Doo, UTV, truck, I'll take different thicknesses. I'll walk on 2 to 3 inches. I fell through the ice in the side-by-side this spring. I always run a steel leader for muskie. Yeah, we have, we're running the high-low rig over here with two pieces of cut bait. It's 80-pound steel leader. I use the same for pike as well. Emmanuel, we're in central Montana. Polly Paul, people like and sub if you like fishing. Appreciate that, Polly Paul. Yeah, if you do like fishing, live streams, we stream here 2 to 3 times a week on this channel. And we recently got this bad boy. We got the Starlink Mini, so we've been fishing all over since then. We'll be going to some remote places here in Montana that you will probably never see anywhere else unless you're a local here. We fish from the bank, we fish ponds, lakes, streams, shore, rivers. We take the boat out, we do trolling. We'll be doing, some trout fishing, some pike fishing, walleye fishing. We do sturgeon fishing in the spring. Cat fishing a few times a year. I fish for anything and everything around here, though my favorite to fish for is usually northern pike, carp or catfish. But again, today we're fishing for tiger muskie, and this is one of the few places within a drivable distance around here that has tiger muskie in it. Oh God, the sun's just creeping over the horizon there. It's so pretty. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But this pond is basically in my backyard. It's like a 5-minute drive from my house. 5-minute drive from my house, but then like a 15-minute hike through the goddamn wilderness here. But there are 40 to 50 plus inch pike or muskie, tiger muskie that are in this pond. They've been stocking this pond for the past 10 to 12 plus years. So those older stocks right now would be, they're trophy sized. One of these days we're gonna get into them. I had one on the line last year, but lost it. But we're back here trying again today. We didn't get enough time here today though. I mean, we've only been here for a few hours. One of these days we'll come out here bright and early. Again, we'll get here right as the sun's coming up. And we'll fish a shit all day and hopefully we can get one. We do still have 25, 30 minutes here We might get lucky. We might pull one in. Right now is the perfect time of the day to get them. The early morning bite, the late evening bite tend to be some of the most productive times of the day for northern pike, I know. And I mean, I don't think there's really all that much difference fishing for a northern pike than there is a muskie. They're the same basic fish. Fat Cat. We're in central Montana, Fat Cat. This is called Largemouth Bend. We're outside of Vaughan, Montana. And PA Sportsman, I don't know if I said hi to you or not, but hey, PA, welcome back again. Paul, you're in Texas, all right. Yeah, I spent a little bit of time in Texas about a decade ago. I was in the Austin area for a while. Loved it down. Worked a shipyard. They had a guy go under, used an excavator to move the ice to get him out. Did they pull him out alive, Eric? Munchie, I recently found this channel. Thanks for the hard work. Oh, thanks for coming to hang out. You know, I fish a lot. This is what I do to pass time, to relax, to enjoy myself. And I've been watching so many fishing channels, and I thoroughly enjoy watching the fishing channels. And I figured, what the hell, man? I fish more than most of these people do. I might as well start a channel and see if, you know, people enjoy it. So I'm just glad to have you guys here hanging out, and I'm excited to show you some of the beautiful places that I fish around here. So I appreciate that, Munchie. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming back. Stinky, musky are very finicky fish. Not really my category of fishing, but I know guys who have searched for 40 to 60 musky for summers. Straight fishing almost every day with little to no bite. Yeah, they don't call it the fish of 10,000 casts for nothing. But I think a lot of that is hype, though, honestly. I mean, they're just a big northern pike. I can't imagine that their behaviors, that to catch one, that it's much different than pike. And I can catch pike almost any, if there's a pike in a water body, I can catch it. So I've been trying a lot of the same methodologies here and the other places that I fish for tiger muskies. And again, I've hooked up on a couple of them. The problem is that they're a sterile fish, so they're not able to breed. So the water bodies that do have them here, there's not a lot in there. You know, they may stock 10 or 20 in a year. You know, and how many of those survive to the end of the year, who knows? They do live, you know, 10 to 15 years. So, I mean, it's just there's a low number of them in any of the water bodies, and I think that's been my problem. It's not necessarily that they're harder to catch than a northern pike. It's just that it's a game of numbers. You know, there's just not that many of them in here. What I really need is a little canoe or something that I keep saying that you'll never see my ass in, so I can troll around in here and just drag a frickin' loop. I guarantee I'd catch one that way. Where's the black coffee? No, we're running the Mountain Dew today, Fat Cat. Raining off and on in Ontario. No fishing for me today. Yeah, I don't mind fishing in the rain so much. My problem is when I'm running the stream here is I have all the electronics and batteries and shit. And while I don't mind getting wet, the electronics tend not to enjoy it so much. Stinky, do you have a boat or a kayak? I run a 16-foot flat bottom aluminum John boat with a 75 horsepower 2-stroke jet on the back. Just an old school aluminum flat bottom. What kind of bait do you got? Polly, we're running cut bait on the rod over here. Oops. It's creek chub or lake chub, some kind of chub. We caught it when I was sturgeon fishing earlier this year. I once heard early morning sunrise is the best for muskies. I've never fished for muskie though, so I really wouldn't know. El Dabo, so there's one guy that I ran into last year at Ackley Lake, which is east of Great Falls, hour and a half or so. And he was telling me that he's been heavily fishing that water body for muskie for the past 3 or 4 years. He's about 90% of his catches, he said, was right after daybreak. Oh, there goes my bobber. Something's carrying her away, but not taking her under the water. She's just dancing. I don't know what that was. Maybe a turtle. Emmykins, what's up, Emmy? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Munchie says I'm old and I get cold very easily. Yeah, I don't like getting cold too much easier. That's the main reason why I haven't ice fished in the past. When I get cold, you know that like pins and needles feeling you get in your fingertips? I get that, and it's like the older I get, the longer it lasts. It's just for hours. It's like I get to the point where it's like, man, I'd like just cut them off. Like I hate that feeling so much. But that's my main reason why I haven't done much ice fishing in the past is I can't stand that shit. But my buddy tells me that they got a nice heated ice house thing, and that you don't get cold. So this year we'll try it. If I freeze, I probably won't do much of it anymore. But I gotta at least try it. They were catching some really nice pike last year. And for as often as I fish during, the spring, summer, fall, it kills me to not get to fish for, the three plus months of winter that we get here in Montana. So if I don't start ice fishing, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do for the winters. All right, but on that note, I'm going to throw this bobber out. I got to start packing up a few things so we can continue to fish. And that I have enough time. Again, I got to get out of here 15, maybe 20 minutes. Because it's about a 25-minute hike back to 25-minute hike back to the truck. And then I got to go pick Mia up from work. But the bobber's right there if you guys want to keep an eye on her for me. I need to figure out some way to get either Nightbot or one of the bots to make a sound. That, or I did start a Discord server. I don't know if any of y'all use Discord. I've had a couple of people tell me to start a Discord server. And I have Discord servers for other purposes. I've just never started one for the fishing channel. But if you guys do use Discord and you want to hop on my server there, it's the same as my channel name here. It's just if you look up wannaseemyrod, you will find my Discord server. That's the only thing that I can think of right now to give people the ability, like when my mic craps out, or the audio stream dies, or the video gets weird, or I'm getting a bite and I'm not reading chat. Somebody could hit me up on Discord, which would make an audible noise at least for me to check. But there are 0 members other than me on the channel right now. Shit jumping all over the place here. Surprised we haven't got a crappie here yet. Supposedly there's a whole bunch of them in here. Man, it's a I gotta get her from work. So perfect fishing right now. In fact, one of these times I'd love to do night fishing down here. I know that I've caught pike at night before. Any of y'all tiger muskie fishers? You ever caught a tiger muskie night fishing? Papa Fatty. He made it alive. Said the ice was 3 feet thick. I wasn't there at the time. God, that's scary, Eric. Do a lot of fishing through these channels. I love being able to watch people fishing around the world live. I do too, El Dabo. Was just talking about that. In fact, I was in Fishy Things live. Was it last night? Maybe it was last night. YouTube started recently feeding me a bunch of Korean live stream fishing. So I started clicking on them, and holy crap, man, they catch some neat fish over there. I was watching a stream the day before yesterday, and they're catching, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of ribbon fish or hairfish. They're those long, skinny, like blindingly silver mirror looking fish, and they have like a really neat wavy top fin on them. And this girl's just pulling them out left after right, and at the end of the stream she pans over and she's got an entire like 50-gallon ice chest full of them. She probably had 150, 200 of them. I'm like, damn, there's no limit on those things. But I couldn't understand anything anybody was saying. There was one person in the chat that was trying to translate back and forth for me, but loved it. I was addicted. I hit the sub button. I will be going back and watching more Korean fishing streams. But it's neat. It's cool interacting with other people from around the world, and really cool getting to see, you know, that's a fish I will probably never catch, but I got to watch somebody catch not one, but you know, like 100 of them. Oh, speaking of which, there's Fishy Things right there. Where are you? It's central Montana. This is a Fish, Wildlife, and Park secret pond. It's Largemouth Bend Pond number 3. We're right outside of Vaughan, Montana. And they stock tiger muskie in here, and they get real big. 40, 50 inches. Yeah, I forgot to update the wear, Josie. Again, this was a real last-minute fishing adventure here. El Benny, my guy's back with the Infinity cigarette. Yeah, it keeps going out. It all goes out. Fishy, I get that a lot. So even the West Coast right now, a lot of places, Washington, Oregon, California, most of them, their sun is already set. So from my understanding, we still have light here because of the elevation. We're up in the Rocky Mountains, so our elevation is fairly high here, and we're just at the correct vantage point that the elevation and, you know, the angle, that we actually get more daylight here than you would further west, you know, even all the way to the coast on the ocean. Eric, I had 3 cigarettes today, 0 yesterday, and day before. Dip though. That's not bad. I smoke like a pack a day. I hate it. It's such a bad habit. Dog Lover, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm way behind on the chat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm scrolling. Appreciate everybody's patience. Hey, Mia, I will be there to pick you up. My mom said that Bella is having a bad day. She doesn't want to go back into town. So I'm just finishing up here, packing up, and I will be there to pick you up at 9:30. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything important. Scratch Off Mania, welcome. How can I get more subscribers? Do live streams, talk to people, have fun. If you're having fun, the people in your chat will have fun. Ben Barnes, I live in Arizona. What's wrong with Arizona? Catfishy, usually tiger muskie will hit on live bluegill here. Catfish, I wish I could fish with live fish here. It's not legal. He doesn't even know it yet, but he just became my best friend. Why is that, Fishy? I love his enthusiasm for fish. Oh man, there is almost nothing I enjoy more than fishing. And I don't know why. I've never quite understood why I love it so much, but since I was a little kid, you put a fishing pole in my hand to get me in front of the water, and you had to drag my ass away from it. Japanese fishing. Bass, whale fishing. Good God, how far behind in chat am I? Okay, I'm close. Only thing I like to fish here in Arizona is bass, bluegill, and flathead. Those are all 3 fun species. Other than I've never caught flathead. We have channel cat here, not flathead. I follow a Japanese dude, never catches anything, but he can read some English, and his chat people translate. Eric. Yeah, I was having an absolute blast in that channel, and the streamer, she's actually a pretty big streamer. She had like, I don't know, almost 40,000 followers. And there was like 900 people in the room and nobody's chatting. It's like me typing English in a Korean chat room, and there's one guy trying to translate for me. But she kept catching, and I'd say like, fish on, and she'd turn around and she's like, fish on. And it was one of the most adorable things I've seen ever in my life. Yeah, she knew very little English, but she was trying so hard to read and speak back. Learn from Rod, get some subscribers. I don't know, I don't have much advice other than I come out here, I fish, I have fun. I like to talk to people, I like to engage with people, and I think people like that. They like, a good environment, a good attitude, people that are having fun. I don't like drama. We try not to fight in here. I do lose my temper occasionally, and all right, we're back. I don't know what happened. I think we were loading. We're back. Crappie Man Jigs, what's up, buddy? Sorry about that. I'm over here talking to myself. Catfishy, bro, you be yourself and engage with others is a good way to decompress from a day's work. Yeah, I mean, I just come out here, I have fun. That's all I'm trying to do. Catch some fish, have some fun, meet some cool people. Yeah, seems like people enjoy it. I don't know. Sometimes I get 200 people in here. Sometimes it's 20 people, and either or. It doesn't matter if it's 2 people. I still have fun. I'm here to fish, and I like being able to bring y'all along with and show the fish when I catch the fish. We caught a few today. They were just itty bitties, but still fun. We've been waiting for the lunker. It hasn't come out to play yet, but not a lot you can do about that. Yeah, crappiemanjigs.com. Go check him out. He makes some really good stuff. And in fact, we'll be posting some videos of some underwater videos of some of his rigs that I was running on over the weekend. Fishy Things, welcome to the Rod Squad. Our newest member. Appreciate that, Fishy Things. Could you believe we have 90 members in the Rod Squad already? We've had membership open for 4 days now. Blows my mind. Y'all are awesome. Happy to have you, Fishy Things. Big Homer, there you are. I haven't seen y'all this stream yet. How long you been out? 3.5 hours-ish. We're about ready to kill the stream, unfortunately. I gotta go get Mia from work. But we will maybe do another stream tomorrow after I get some work stuff done. Jaron, welcome to the stream. El Dabo, got anything planned for the next stream? So I work tomorrow, and I probably have a half day on Friday. Saturday or Sunday, if the weather's nice, we'll probably take the boat out somewhere. I haven't decided if I want to take you guys to, we probably won't do Pishkin again. We will soon, but probably not this weekend. I was thinking either Ackley Lake to do some tiger muskie fishing, or possibly Holter Lake to do some walleye, salmon, and trout fishing. Or if there is perfect, I might even go to Tiber Reservoir that has pike, walleye, lake trout, channel cats. They have a whole bunch of stuff up there. It's a reservoir off the Marias River. So there's some really awesome things up there. Fishy Thing says 91 members, I think. Nice. I'm almost caught up to you. I have maybe 6 subs. Oh, Eric. Yeah, it just takes some time. And the live streams, that's really where all my subs come from, is the live streams. Mia says, Ackley. Yeah, Ackley, I've been dying to go back there. Question for the group, biggest largemouth you've caught? 2.5 pounds. My biggest largemouth is not very big. I don't target bass very often, though. That, and we don't have a lot of largemouth bass fishing. This pond though, I reckon probably has some six to 8+ pounders in it. Because I know pond number 2 that everybody fishes the crap out of has 5-6 pounders in it. And everything I've caught out of this pond, it has been bigger than what's in the other pond. Nobody ever fishes this one. They get left alone, and they're able to grow to much larger sizes. But we don't get them double-digit bass or largemouth bass here in Montana like y'all get in Texas and California. I ain't trying to get subs, just hang out in other streams and vids. Oh, right on. Yeah, I'm just here to have fun. That's it. That's all I do this for. And the membership, the donations that people give, all that goes to pay for that bad boy. That goddamn thing's $165 a month to run, and I have to pretty much use it to stream from anywhere here. But it's all right. We can afford it, but any of you guys that donate, that's what it goes for. It's just to strictly pay for the Starlink Mini. I'd be out here fishing even if I wasn't running it, so I'm just happy to bring you guys along. 13 pounds! Good God, they get that big in South Carolina, or do you go somewhere else and catch that crappie, man? Rock Skipper, mine's 7.5 pounds through the ice. Ice fishing for largemouth bass, huh? Huh. Yeah, no, we haven't got that lucky. Alrighty. Well, folks, I have had an absolute blast as always. We're gonna chat here for a few more minutes, but I'm pulling the poles out of the water here. Mia's who's in here chatting with us, slacking at work right now. I gotta go drive and pick her up. But if I have some downtime tomorrow after work, we'll probably do another short stream. If not, it'll be Friday, and then definitely either Saturday or Sunday, we're probably gonna do another marathon stream somewhere. So again, if you guys like fishing, you like live streams, you like just hanging out in a chat room full of a bunch of cool people, hit that sub button, come back and fish with us sometime. Oh, or don't, whatever. We'll be around though. And there's lots of really fun people to talk to and hang out with in here. And if you don't sub to my channel, all these people you see with the blue names, the Crappie Man Jigs, Joe C, Fishy Things here, they all also run excellent channels. They catch lots of fish. Crappie Man Jigs, you can sit and watch him make all sorts of, plastic baits, spinner baits, jigs. He makes all sorts of cool stuff. SoCal Outdoors, Outfish Ontario, Skipjack Cindy. There's a whole bunch of really cool and fun YouTube streamers. Go check them out. If you like my stream, you'll love all those streams. Oh man. One of these days, Tiger Muskie. One of these days. God, do you guys see this? I have the camera pointed the wrong damn way. Not pretty. Let me get you over a little bit more. Such gorgeous views here. I don't know about you guys, but the sunsets here, they never get old. I never get tired of looking at this shit. Every time I'm out fishing. Oh, something stole my goddamn. We had a bait stealer. On the top hook even. Huh. I wonder if that was a muskie or one of the little bait stealing catfish. Interesting. Well, one of these days we'll get one. Oh. Oh, I wish this place was not such a pain in the butt to get to. I would come here so much more often. Not looking forward to the hike out of here. I definitely next time need to carry less shit. I need to learn how to pack light.